You had just come back from Costa Rica?
Yeah, not long ago. We went to, do you guys know what Ayahuasca is?
Oh, yes.
So we did it for 3 nights. It was incredibly intense. I went to, everybody's journey is different. The second night I went to hell for eternity. Yeah. And to just knowing eternity is like torture in itself, because there was no beginning, middle, or end. So you have like a real ego death.
Wait, now, how do you arrive and understand that that's what the moment is? Is there a sign, next exit hell?
I mean, it's your own psychological hell, basically, is the point of the medicine, right? This is a medicine that it surpasses like anything you could do with talk therapy or like hypnotherapy or any of those things. It just goes straight into your soul, and it takes you to the psychological prison that you hold yourself in. So it's your own version of hell. And I was definitely there.
Michael, the venerable Wall Street Journal had an article today called "The Drugs That Power Silicon Valley." It's talking about LSD, ketamine, magic mushrooms. The first line of this article states Elon Musk takes ketamine.
Yeah.
Is the stigma gone from these drugs? Like it seems like these are like serious drugs. They were like
Schedule 1 drugs.
Schedule 1 drugs. So it's just kind of interesting. That struck me before I knew you were going to be on today. I read that article this morning and I was like kind of floored.
That ketamine shit is a weird one because a lot of people do it recreationally, and apparently they blast off and go into other dimensions and shit.
Elon Musk takes ketamine. Google co-founder Sergey Brin occasionally enjoys magic mushrooms. Executives at venture capital firm Founders Fund, which has invested in SpaceX and Facebook, have thrown parties that include psychedelics. Silicon Valley has long had a tolerance toward drug use. But while in the past, routine drug use was squarely an after-hours activity, these days, it's become embedded in corporate culture.
What is ketamine like after a catastrophic injury like that? Does it relieve the pain? Does it just put you in another dimension?
But the way that it feels is kind of, it takes your perspective, and it's like, it always felt like a whirlwind if I was getting a push of it. But it's like you're starting to get your vision masked, and you're still there, but you're dipping into like subconscious because you're still conscious. Because unconscious would mean that you're like, you pass out and you cannot have a gag reflex depending on how unconscious you are. So ketamine, I would close my eyes and immediately trip the most insane balls that you could imagine and open them, and I'd be back in the room and I'd be like, what the fuck?
Whoa.
And then a friend of mine, when I left my first rotation, he was an Air Force CCT that got blown up in the same village I had a few casualties in. He stepped on ID. He's an above the knee, some missing fingers. But when he was on ketamine, when he was awake and looking around, he'd see the walls on fire. And then there'd be like women, like white, pale skin in the corners, peeling the skin off their back. And he was like awake. And I was like, dude, that's
shit.
Like whatever. I don't know. It must be like someone's psychology when they go in.
And there's actually scientific proof that LSD could do just that. One study funded by the US government in the 60s took a group of scientists and set them out to solve 48 different physics, math, and architectural problems. Problems that the scientists themselves had been unable to solve. Each scientist was guided through a psychedelic trip, at the end of which 44 of the 48 problems had found solutions. And psychedelics have a rich history in Silicon Valley. One of the most iconic users, Steve Jobs.
I moved here to work in the Apple garage, building Apple Ones. That was 1976.
That's Daniel Kotke, one of Apple's first employees. And before we all knew Steve Jobs as the creator of one of the most successful companies in the world, Daniel knew him as the guy he used to trip with in college. It was a spiritual thing.
Steve and I developed a friendship when we figured out that we had both read this amazing book called Be Here Now, which is about psychedelics and spirituality.
You said that Steve had said that LSD was kind of one of the best things he ever did. Why was that?
It expands your consciousness. It could have been mushrooms. It could have been peyote. It could have been any number of other things. Conversely, Steve was never really interested in smoking pot. That did not expand consciousness.
Today, psychedelic research is having a renaissance. People in the industry say there are more studies now than there have been in decades.
So there was a lot of research done in the 60s, then a little bit in the 70s. But funding for clinical research LSD dried up. You see the most cutting edge of the cutting edge in San Francisco. I mean, you see people printing organs. You see people prototyping things that are fundamentally change how all of us experience reality. We don't know as much about the human brain or body as we think we do. I mean, we're absolutely medieval. I think we're going to look back in 10 years at our behavior now, and it's going to look like bloodletting in the dark ages.
Aaron Rodgers, the NFL quarterback for the Jets, speaking for an hour during the conference about his use of ayahuasca, which is a hallucinogenic tropical vine.
When you find that edge, old edge, and surpass it and create a new edge, you're creating in the in-between a beautiful new piece of life and energy and love and divine guidance that comes in. It really changes your life.
And we talk so much about mental health, and to me, one of the core tenets of your mental health is that self-love. And that's what ayahuasca did for me. It was help me see how to unconditionally love myself. And it's only in that unconditional self-love that then I'm able to truly be able to unconditionally love others.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to work on, for me, in my own, this is my own belief, but what better way to work on my mental health than to have an experience like that.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Give me a 9 up in the chat if I can be heard, family. Give me a 9 up in the chat if I can be heard. All praises to the ever-present creator. The all in all, the always was, is, and ever shall be. The mighty Yahweh, the omnipotent one, the all-knowing, knows all, sees all. We can call him the all. All praise and glory and honor. Y'all see the title of the Book of Judgment, Your Spiritual Grading Rate, Part 2. We're going to get it done. I got one more thing I want to show y'all, though. One more thing I want to show y'all, and then we can go ahead and dive on in. We're going into the Book of Judgment and Oahspe. Oahspe is causing a stir these days, boy. A lot of fumigating, slanderous jaw Negroes mad, but they'll be all right. What we're going to do is go into the actual text. We're going to go into it. And y'all stop me when y'all hear some evil, demonic, wicked, satanic, and all that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I've never seen so many slanderous jaw Negroes mad about something they don't understand or have never read. You feel me? Now, what are you mad about? It proves, their behavior proves that Oahspe is more than just what they want you to believe, like a Dr. Seuss book. You know what I mean? Like, the things I've been hearing from people who oppose Oahspe don't even make sense, because you guilty of the same thing dealing with the scriptures, no matter which way you talking about it. I can whatever problem you got with Oahspe, I can point out in the scripture, be like, you already guilty of that. So based off your logic, you shouldn't even read the scripts. What's the deal? You know what I mean? So it's all good. We're gonna go ahead and talk about what you don't know. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all already know. All right, here, I got one more thing to share with y'all, and then we're going to go ahead and cook. Easy work, man. Easy work. All right, let me share this real quick with y'all. Wow. Put that right there. Present. Yeah, a lot of Negroes are in their feelings, boy. I'm talking about. I don't know what kind of cloth these men cut from. I don't. Like, this shit real feminine. The one cat was like, you guys are teasing me. Boy, what kind of grown man says another man teasing him? Like, I don't know where you like where y'all from, or like who raised y'all, but what make you think righteousness is soft? SOF capital T. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't looking for confrontation, but we for sure ain't ducking it. So if you outside, then be on outside then. Don't run your mouth, and then we pop out like, what's up then? Debate in front of everybody. Oh, no. Not worth my time. But then you go do you some, like, you block everybody that could possibly have the conversation with you. Right? Then go do you a Facebook Live. And it was so soft and dry. It was like, what is you? Man, look, sit on down somewhere, bro. You're not ready. And you never was. You hear words like crystal and chakra and blow your drawers out. Huh? You heard brothers get haircuts and lose your mind. Block everybody. And then your man's over there like, stop teasing me. Like, I don't know what kind of cloth you men cut from, but it sure ain't ours. It ain't our cloth, because I don't understand how grown men get so offended. Boy, you hear worse things every day while you at work. You see and hear worse things every day when you watch TV. Somebody bring up a crystal and a chakra, and this boy blew his drawers out. Lost all his mind. Or even heard about Oahspe and lose his mind, but don't want to get it on in front of everybody. I'm saying you burn false witness, Jack. You saying what we own is wicked. What we read is evil. Huh? I thought you ain't supposed to bear false witness. Talking about you stand on the law and the prophets. How? And you an essaying how? You know the Bible been compromised. You know the scribes wrote things in the Torah or the law that is not conducive to the character of the Creator. You know that. So nah, man, a lot of these cats confuse being righteous with being soft. S-O-F capital T. That ain't what we own over here. Again, we ain't picking no fights, but we for sure ain't ducking none. Because we outside for real. Like when all that war went down with the Nazarenes and Israelites 2 years ago, you niggas went inside. Y'all went inside and started firing shots over this way with the naysayers. Bro, you ain't nowhere near ready if the word chakra and crystal allows you to lose your mind. You ain't nowhere near ready for this spiritual mindset, spiritual war or spiritual revolution. You ain't ready. You below the grade. You a sippy cup, bro. To be honest. You know what I mean? And you've been running your mouth for a couple years now, and I ain't even checked you on it. And finally, when I'm like, you either a wolf or you crying wolf, this nigga blocks me. And then this little student over there talking about he getting teased. Man, come on. You really ain't about this. It sound good. Everybody got a plan till they get hit. And all that sounded good till I addressed you head up and said, look, the wager can be this. Whoever wrong can't teach no more. Nah, I'm good, fam. Yeah, sit on down somewhere, boy. You ain't ready. My squad do this for real. Brothers and sisters I roll with, they do this for real. And you don't.
A group of scientists from the US and UK teaming up to create what is being called the world's first synthetic human embryos made without eggs or sperm. Some are calling it a scientific breakthrough. Others say it raises serious ethical and legal questions.
Yeah, it's a terrifying prospect, and when you read about it, it feels a little bit Black Mirror-ish in a way.
You know, Black Mirror is all about, you know, shining a light on, you know, kind of like the darkest parts.
Everything, the underbelly.
The underbelly, yeah.
Oh, that's, yes.
That's a great word.
I am part of the underbelly.
You are?
We were actually just talking about artificial intelligence earlier in the show, and talk of AI is a major part of the episode.
Huge.
Could you see that plot perhaps playing out in real life?
I think it is playing out in real life, which is, you know, it's a spooky thing.
Here's what's going on here. They took one single cell, embryonic stem cell, one single cell, and they're manipulating it to see what the placenta would look like, what the yolk sac would look like. They're not creating actual embryos that you could do something with. There's no precursor of a brain or a heart, and they're not planning on using it for anything other than testing why someone miscarries or what are genetic abnormalities and can you predict them. But I have a question. I would have a question for the researcher here, same as I have a question about gain of function research. Could you do this with computers? Could you do this with artificial intelligence? Could you predict this without using this actual cell and manipulating it?
As the Guardian notes, this discovery also falls beyond the realm of regulation in the UK and in most countries. So it does raise a lot of ethical issues. The embryos don't have a beating heart or any brain matter, but they have enough matter to form a placenta, an egg yolk, and embryo. So as I said, raising major ethical and legal questions as well.
It's caught a lot of people's attention and making a lot of headlines.
And last night, he made his episode debut in season 6 of the suspenseful drama series Black Mirror. And as another twisted season unfolds, it becomes clear that nothing is truly ever as it seems. But wait, there's more. There always is. Ready? Yeah. He's also starring in the upcoming sci-fi action thriller The Creator, which is set to hit theaters a little bit later this year.
The artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles. As long as AI is a threat, we will never stop hunting them.
Nothing. Oh, my.
That's nice, light and bright.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Not topical at all.
No, no talk of Chat GPT or AI
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Y'all peep that. It's a movie coming out called The Creator. man, oh man, you can't make none of this up. You can't make none of this up. I see y'all in the chat. Bless up. I see y'all in the chat today. These lights on. Bless up. Good to see y'all. Good to be seen. All praises to the ever-present creator, the all in all, that always was, is, and never shall be. Good to see y'all in the building. Bless up. Who we got in the building? We got my brother Lux in the building. What up, Louis? Love and light, my brother. Blessings. Bezel. My brother from the A. Bezel the aura light. That's what I heard. You be out there picking fights, bro. Rita, blessings. My brother YAHWH'S been Israel. Shalom, HERBAL. Shalom. My elder sister from Flow Rider. Mahalia, shalom, peace and blessings. BC. Peace and peace. Good family, peace. Who we got right here? True beauty for ashes. Greetings. Love and light. Brian Joe. Yeah, they were talking about psychedelics in that first video. See, like they making a strong comeback around this deal. The Brian Joe report. Y'all go over there and like, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean? Also, like, subscribe, share, create a gang TV. I'm multi-streaming right now from Honor and Humility and Create a Gang TV. Y'all like, subscribe, share, create a gang TV. Like, subscribe, share the Brian Joe report. My brother been doing, he just did part 2, exposing the false deities and gods of India. You know what I mean? I find that very interesting, being the background that brother comes from. He has a very in-depth study when it comes down to India, the Indus Valley, was known to Oahspe as venue. You feel me? Very, very well detailed and researched. Check it out. It did like Create a Gang. Just ain't exposing gods, dealing with any like Bible or Quran, but all the false gods everywhere getting exposed, getting hit. You dig? And he breaks it down from what it was to what it is now. You dig? And connects all the dots for you. Y'all go over there and like, subscribe, and share on the Brian Job report. He just went to Kabbalichtes, the god of venue of India, part 1 and 2. Don't want to miss that. All right, just me. Bless up. Abundant blessings. Yahweh, Flow Ride in the building. Miss A Gang Wilson. Bless up. I see you in the building. Jehu M, my brethren. Who else we got up in here? Dreadful Cosmon, the Cali Connect. Yeah, these slanderous jaw. Nick Rose, that'd be all right. Yafa in the building. Yafa been in. What Yafa? I told you. I said, you know, they about to be mad at you. You jump on that fire ship and start dealing with that higher light. Woo! You'd be surprised how many cats is low-hanging fruit. How many people are offended. Huh? How many people are offended? I told you, though. You know what it is. You got thick skin though. All right, you got this. Cal P, Cosmon Cal in the building. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. You dig? Cosmon Cal TV. Y'all go over there and like, subscribe, share. The brother is deep when it gets down to anthropology, history, time, arc cycles. The brother will tell you what year we are in exactly since man was created. You think I'm lying? Call my bluff. Going over there, like, subscribe, share. You dig? And these, my brother, this is the creative gang. He's the creative gang. These are the brothers that rock with the ever-present creator. You understand? These brothers go hard. These ain't no like some fly-by-night novices. These cats been doing this. You know what I mean? All right, I got my brother Dreadful Cosmine already. So y'all go like, subscribe, share. Who else we got up in here? Also, La Shalom TV. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. My brother Prince Yehuda Levi. Like, subscribe, share. My sister Deshaun LaFeo, Intuitive Goat. Like, subscribe, share. Huba Lifestyles and it's saying Nazarene Faith This Sisterhood channel. Like, subscribe, share. We in the building. The gang is growing. The creator gang is growing. You dig? And our brothers and sisters over here want all the smoke. It's all good. We here to deliver you out of hell. Deliver you out of the hell and recesses of your mind. Come on home. All right. I see y'all. Good bread, good bread. All right, let's go ahead and get down into it. You know what I mean? Since a lot of slanderous jaw Negroes is mad, I'm talking about you that thought I'd slap one of y'all mamas or something, or cuss you out. Just sharing information. But hit dogs holler though, right? Hit dogs holler. Always remember that. All right, so let's show. Let's show what we dealing with. Let's go into it. Everybody want to be mad and claim we evil and satanic and oh my God. And in the end, you cats are superstitious. I thought that was a form of witchcraft. Superstition is like a Christian form of witchcraft. You find out, man, you ain't no deeper or lower than snail nuts, bro. You know what I mean? You ain't no lower or no deeper than snail nuts at all. Like, how do you get offended? How do you get offended at a word like crystal, chakra? How do you get offended at certain men cutting their whiskers or trimming their whiskers because they follically challenged? How are any of you slanderous jaw Negroes getting offended at what's going on here? What are we saying and what are we doing that's satanic and evil? You got a problem with how the book was compiled? How it came together? That's your problem? All right, well, the only way to prove if it's evil or not is to dive into the information. That's the only way you can prove it. Like, the only way you can prove if it's seances to Satan and the devil, and if we in the blood magic and doing all type of ceremonies and rituals that have to do with the dark side, you got to dive into it to see. All you slanderous jaw, milly mouth Negroes is mad right now. None of y'all have read Oahspe. Y'all ain't got past the quote unquote so-called offer. And he tell you he didn't even read it till it was over. He didn't even take credit for it. Let me show you how major this is. That's like George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, not taking credit for Star Wars. That's like Stan Lee not taking credit for no Marvel movies. He didn't even take credit for it. And he was a regular man. He had women problems like everybody. He had him some outside children, and he was a regular man. You understand? But was living during a time when it was some high spiritual vibrations and realities going on. You dig? So if you want to really understand what it is, you got to crack the book open and go into it. You dig? Because the very things you claim is evil about it, all I got to do is show you, well, how did Ezra transcribe the Torah? Because the Torah you got right now ain't Moses. We all know that. 2nd Ezra 14:21, the Torah was burnt when they was in Babylon. So what they came out of Babylon with was not a product of Moshe at all. Ezra, if you want to talk about the Torah, with the Torah that you got today, if you want to be solid, you would have to connect it to Ezra. You know what I mean? But even after that, you got Septuagints that come out. You got all type of stuff. Targums. Heard Millie Bob bring up a Targum. Like, come on, man, look, stop all that. You know good and well things have been fabricated. Things have been added to. Things have been taken away. You understand? You know all this. And the only way to prove if Oahspe is evil, y'all, dark energy, I've been hearing cats say, demonic, satanic, is to go into and see what's actually written in it. You get offended because a small little Negro boy all of a sudden in the late 1800s had the ability to calculate a certain formula that nobody around him could. Is that evil? Or is he more sensitive to the spiritual unseen realm than you are? And I don't hear now Millie Mouth Negro call speaking in tongues satanic. You still read the Bible, and speaking in tongues is in the Bible. Regardless if your understanding is tongues is another language or it's the language of angels, it's still in the Bible. And if somebody broke out and started speaking Mandarin and ain't never went nowhere near close to China, what, is that evil? We want to know what the evil is. What's the wickedness? We ain't talking about a spiritual experience somebody had and they produced a body of work that's challenging all the so-called mainstream gods right now. If this is a work of the devil, it shouldn't be kicking y'all ass. If this is a Dr. Seuss book, y'all ass shouldn't be getting wiped with this. Yeah, that part. If it's so satanic, how can it beat up God then? How? If it's so demonic, then how can it produce more light than all of your spiritual texts combined? How? Wait, this is what we dealing with right here. All right. Negro was trying to be all funny. Oahspe and Jehovah. All of a sudden now you can't read. And when you was trying to read, look, I'm about to read what he was stumbling over when I seen this video. Big Brother them sent me the video. I'm gonna show y'all what he couldn't get off this first page. Stuttering. I said, boy, that boy spirit hit, boy. He couldn't get off this first page. Look at this right here. And look, he didn't even stop in it and break down what is evil about what we just read. Nothing. Oahspe, Practical Guidebook to the Spiritual Life, standard edition in modern American language, right? You have a physical or corporeal body and a spiritual body. Hear me and I will open your understanding. I come to free not only the physical man, the corporeal man, the slave, but the spiritual man. Right there, why wouldn't any descendant of quote-unquote ex-slaves, regardless of the narrative you follow, why would any descendant of the melanated ex-slaves not read this after that? This is talking about freedom to the physical man and the spirit man, because spirit man is bound by the false deities and gods. Yet with your freedom, you also attain the responsibility. Yet with your freedom, you also attain the responsibility, so that sooner or later, your fidelity to your creator and to your fellow man in righteousness, love, and good works shall become the most sacred study of your life. Matter of fact, he didn't even read this part. He didn't even read this part. I said, oh yeah, that boy low-hanging fruit, man. You dig? And you was a coward years ago, bro, just to be real with you. You know what I mean? Like, you men didn't show yourself solid when that war kicked off. And that's how I can tell a man character. When we go through something, them shots get to flying, did you stand or did you fall back? Now all of a sudden you're going to pop your head outside. No, you fell back. Y'all started laughing and went inside. Honor and Humility stayed outside bombing. And the proof's in the pudding. There's over 110 Nazarene editions. Then y'all start taking Nazarene off your name. And yeah, y'all ain't want to be affiliated with us. And that's what's up. We ain't begging for no Negroes friendship. This ain't the Boy Scouts. We can care less. You know what I mean? But you've been running your mouth. You and your little boyfriend. You've been running your mouth. So the other night I called you on it. What's up? Oh, no, fam. I'm saying that's how you sound. No, I'm good, fam. You can keep that. Like, bro, you's a coward. How you run your mouth all this time, then get called on what you speaking, and then when men address you as a man, you and your students, oh, you're teasing me. You men ain't men. I don't know what kind of cloth y'all cut from. But I knew then, Creator showed me then, as soon as the war kicked off with the mainstream Israelites, you niggas went inside and got quiet. And in some cases, start firing shots with them. And use 2 words, chakra and crystal, to block all of us. That's what's up. Stay on over there. You only gonna catch fire in our lane because we trailblazing. So I understand, switch lanes then. This ain't your cup of tea. Trust me, I understand. Huh? But talk that up under your own breath. Like, we ain't the ones to be claiming you want to call out, and then we say, all right, what's up? Oh, you're teasing me. What kind of men are y'all? Look at this right here. Yet with your freedom, you also attain to responsibility, so that sooner or later your fidelity to your Creator and to your fellow man in righteousness, love, and good works shall become the most sacred study of your life. Do y'all hear this? What's evil about that? Righteousness towards your Creator and the rest of mankind. That's the most sacred study of your life. Look at this. Your God does not come in this era as a dictator. This ain't nothing evil. Creator gang dealing with nothing but light around her. There's only one reason all y'all mad. Hit dogs holler. You've been in the league with a false God this whole time and didn't even know it. You know how many people you done condemned? How many people you done cast judgment on? How many situations you done judged wrongly and ill-advisedly? You know why I say that? Because if your God or your deity is false, everything else you talking about is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Your God does not come in this era as a dictator, but as your elder brother with ample experience. You feel that? You feel that pressure of the world relieving or releasing up off your shoulders and out of your mind? You feel that? No, God is your brother. He ain't your father. God's your brother. That's why you can hold the title of God. Man is God. The Creator is your father. The Creator is your all parent. See, I'm just your brother with ample experience. I don't come as a dictator. Look at this. Nor do I command saying you shall believe because I, your God, have said it or revealed it in this book. Look how cold and how real and how solid Oahspe is keeping it with you. Huh? Don't just believe it because it's written in her. Prove it. Go try a thing. Prove it. Test it. Because everything in this day must stand on its own merit. Can't just run around and call something evil. It must, by its own merit or by its own content, it should be judged as evil. By what's in it. Right? Bible tell you that though, right? He that answereth a matter before he hears the whole thing, it's the same as shame and folly unto him. And all y'all answering before y'all had a chance to really sit down and get into it. Look at this. Nevertheless, through Oahspe, light of the Creator, Jehovah, now all of a sudden the slanderous jaw Negro don't know how to say an I. Jehovah, you being funny. Now you got jokes now, huh? Yeah, you real funny. But when I called you to the flow, no. When I asked you, was you a wolf or you was crying wolf, you blocked me. Now you don't know how to read Jehovah. I done heard you plenty of times use the vowel I. Oh, you got jokes now. Nevertheless, through Oahspe, light of Jehovah or Yahweh, the Creator, is revealed to man. And man is to judge himself and labor to save himself, so that by this he may have honor and glory. For the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led, but for man to ultimately have the light of practicing good works organically from infancy up. Y'all, and that's just page 1. We ain't even got off the first page. Huh? Yeah, you out of your league over here. See, all that shit fly over there. You dig? All your students on sippy cup status. Don't none of that fly over here. This the no-fly zone. Don't none of that fly over here with create a game. We call all of it out. Why? Because we love you. We don't want to see you pledge your allegiance to a false god and end up worming on your belly in his kingdom. And then when his kingdom fall and get thrown into torment and hell, you go with it. Huh? Look at this. And that's just page 1. You ain't heard nothing evil yet. And I'm going to keep saying it. Right? That way anybody that's on the fence can be like, well, yeah, nothing in it is actually evil. You got a problem with who it came through and how it came, but you ain't got a problem, but you don't keep that same energy dealing with the Bible. The Bible you have right now, but especially the Torah, is Ezra. How did that come? A ghost, the Holy Ghost entered into him after he drank a cup of flaming hot liquid. Huh? It says, understanding moved within his chest, and he opened up his mouth and got to spitting, uttering what he was saying rapidly. So rapidly, there were scribes that had to hurry up and write down what he was saying. So you mean to tell me Ezra was automatically mouth mumbling? And the scribes, because there wasn't no typewriters then, were automatically and swiftly writing down what he said? So much so that they wrote 204 books of the Torah. Well, that's what happened with Oahspe. Automatic writing with Oahspe, automatic mouth mumbling with Ezra. A spirit entered, called the Holy Ghost, a ghost, not the Holy Spirit. It says the Holy Ghost entered into him after he drank a flaming hot liquid. And he spoke real fast, and his scribes wrote real fast. Meaning he was in a trance. And if you in a trance, you ain't even all the way conscious of what you got going on. You just zoned out. What is we even talking about here? Look at this, page 2. Oahspe, a primary what? Primary source, a primary for the spiritual and practical enlightenment and development of individuals. See, fam, that says enlightenment. It may be Luciferian. Like, man, look, I don't know what kind of cloth you cats cut from. You dig? But we ain't on sippy cup status over here. We can take a word like enlightenment or revelation and lose his mind. But don't want to have no real conversation with those who are qualified to speak about Oahspe. You dig? You just having a conversation with a whole bunch of men and women who've never read it and are mad at words like enlightenment and revelation. Look at this. For the spiritual and practical enlightenment and development of individuals, groups, and humanity, for their glory and happiness, and for the glory of the whole, in the words of Jehovah, Yahweh, and his angel ambassadors. Look at this. Being a Cosmon Bible, containing a history of the dominions of the higher and lower heavens on the earth for the past 25,000 years. I saw your video, boy. You fumbled over that. You couldn't believe that type of information was in there, because you know good and well dealing with the Torah, it ain't even been 6,000 years. You're currently in the year 5783 according to the Hebrew calendar. He's seen 25,000 and stuttered and fell all over that. He couldn't even get off this page. He was stuttering and I see. That's what I'm saying. He ran across right here because he don't know nothing about this. And I dare you to Google the Ring of Fire in the Pacific Ocean. Being from the submersion of the continent of Pan in the Pacific Ocean, that's when his voice dropped. Because call us on it then. If that's a lie, prove it. Prove it. We can show you in real time that that's a sunken continent right there. And that's where the flood happened. But it didn't happen 5,000 years ago. It went down 25,000 years ago. Real time. Real thing this. So his voice got real low. Being from the submersion of the continent of Pan in the Pacific Ocean, commonly called the flood of deluge. This is how he's talking. To the Cosmon era of the present time. Look at this. Also a brief history of the preceding years before the flood. From man's beginning on earth to the flood, together with a synopsis of the cosmogony of the universe, the creation of planets. A lot of these slanderous y'all Negroes or they believe that planets are satanic. Listen to me. Keep that sippy cup status over there with that. It's not my fault you don't believe there's planets. It's not my fault you believe it's just the earth out here. It's not my fault. Bro, hear the word planet and lose his mind. Any one of us can get a telescope and look into the heavens and verify if there are planets or not. Like, I'm not even finna play with you. Like, you read a word like planet and lose it. Oh, my brothers and sisters, there are no planets. How you know? You ain't been up past your nostrils. How you know? Ain't no planets. The cosmogony of the universe, so the science behind how the universe was created. Oahspe deals with this. The creation of planets. The Oahspe deals with this. The creation of man, the unseen worlds, meaning the spiritual realm. Oahspe deals with all this. The labor and glory of gods and goddesses in the heavens of the earth and in the ethereal heavens above them. Yeah, that's way above your pay grade. You see God and goddess and lose it. But what does a woman become when she dies? She's a female spirit, a female angel. And if she chooses, she can rise in rank after so much training and after so many years to become a goddess, a daughter of the creator. Never prayed to and never worshiped. Is when her father, the creator, called her to handle some business on any world. You dig? She come mob deep with all her assistants and angels and get it done. The same with a God. God ain't nothing but a one-time man that crossed over. So there are male angels and female angels. See how easy that is? No? That's easy. But they're never the ones that roll with the creator. You don't pray to God, or a real God don't want your prayers and worship. A true God and goddess only want your brotherhood. They don't want you to worship them. Look at this. That was way above his pay grade. I'm like, boy, you don't know what you're doing. You need to come learn. You need to come learn. You bringing up stuff like Essene Gospel of Peace. Yeah, Edmund Bardu Suzuki. Well, white man, European. You can bring up John Ballou Newborough. A white man, European. You want to bring up the Nazarene Acts. Who you talking about? Clement? Who you talking about? Clement Flavian? Like Titus Vespasius Flavian and Domitius Flavian. You talking about those that conquered Jerusalem in 70 AD? The Flavians. Well, Clement was out of the family of the Flavians. He was blood related to the emperor and them. He was a Flavian. So the Nazarene Acts are still written dealing with Rome, a Flavian. Clement was a Flavian. He was directly related to the generals, the commanding general Vespasian and his son Titus, who conquered Jerusalem in 70 AD. That's the Flavian dynasty that started. The Flavian amphitheater, where the gladiators had to go to war with and fight tigers and all that, were built off the spoils from the destruction of Jerusalem. It's called the Flavian amphitheater. And the gladiators used to have to fight animals while the spectators watched them fight for their lives. The Flavians also had a library. Guess who else was a Flavian? Josephus. Boy, you naming all Flavians. You like the Essene Gospel of Peace. Well, where did Edmund Bardu Suzuki get the Essene Gospel of Peace from to translate it into French and English? He had to deal with Rome, Vatican. We back to Rome again. Who used to rule Rome? The Flavians. Oh, okay. Well, Clement, who wrote the Nazarene Acts and the Clementine Homilies, was a Flavian as well, a Roman. Oh, what about the Cardinal Ricci that supposedly found the Gospel of the Holy 12 in a monastery in Tibet back in the late 1800s? Brought it back word to Rome and translated it into Latin, where it remains to this day. But initially, it was even written in Rome, according to that, by who? John the Apostle. Why he was what? enslaved in Rome. So all of it's coming out of Rome when you done talking. Like, you don't got no spiritual text that the white folks ain't dealt with. So we need to take that argument off the table, y'all. The white man. What is you talking about? Everything that NehemiYAH named. He named the Essene Gospel of Peace. That's Edmund Bardou-Sezeki somehow mysteriously got access to the Vatican archives and translated the Essene Gospel of Peace. We're still dealing with Rome. The Clementine Homilies and the Nazarene Acts, both written by Clement of Rome, a bloodline relative to Titus of Vespasian Flavian and his father Vespasian Flavian and his brother Domitian Flavian. Huh? And he's responsible for the Clementine Homilies and the Nazarene Acts. Then we got the Nazarene Acts of the Gospel of the Nazarenes, or the Gospel of the Holy 12. Supposedly in the beginning it says it was written by John the Apostle. Where was he at when he wrote it? Why, he was locked up in Rome. We back in Rome. And then snuck out, incog Hebrew given to one of his followers, and then they took it to Tibet, where it remained until it was found by another Roman, a cardinal named Cardinal Risi or Nisi, something like that. When he got it out of the monastery in Tibet, he took it all the way back to the Vatican, Rome again, read it in front of them, translated it, and then deposited it in the Vatican archives in the library, the same exact spot where Edmund Bardou-Sezeki got the Essene Gospel of Peace and deposited in there, where it remains to this day. We back in Rome. And Flavius Josephus was the secretary and court historian for Titus Vespasius Flavian. You got the Flavians that controlled all the literature then. So you naming all those books, you feel me, don't hold no weight over here, because you still had to go to Rome to get them, even if you're dealing with the Dead Sea Scrolls. How they were supposedly found by a shepherd boy, but eventually where they have to go, they went to Rome and was kept away from the public for 50 years. Rome controlled it all. So we got to remove the white man argument off the table if you want to be real with yourself and deal with the information in it, boy. Yeah. Create a gang ready for all those little arguments. None of those arguments hold weight. None of them. None of them. All right? You deal with the Strong's Concordance. You're dealing with James Strong. You're dealing with the Yehuda, or the Yehuda Ben Yehudi Pocket Dictionary. You're dealing with Eleazar Yehuda, a white man who produced the first Hebrew dictionary ever in existence. Stop all that talk. No, he ain't making no noise, YAH'KI. He's running his flaps about nothing. He ain't ready. I called him to the floor. He ducked. Then he blocked me. With the new commandments of Jehovah, demand of the present day, and other revelations. He's seen revelations and lost it. That's right there. Right there, the word revelations. The word revelations, fam. Man, go sit down somewhere. You ain't nowhere near ready. From the second resurrection, formed in words in the 33rd year of the Cosmine era. Its present edition being placed in the modern American English, being an extraction, compilation, and integration of materials. And the rest is what it says, you dig? So what we're going to do now is go over here to the Book of Judgment. All right, we're gonna get it in. If y'all getting some understanding so far, put it this way. Let me know if you heard anything that's evil so far, evil, wicked, and satanic. And y'all, we just on page 2. If you heard anything wicked, evil, or satanic, put a 1 in the chat and post what was evil, wicked, or satanic. If you ain't heard nothing but righteousness and certain things that resonate with your spirit, put a 2 up in the chat. Let's keep rolling. You know what I mean? Gang in the building, baby. Create a gang. Somebody running around here being a slanderous jaw Negro. Stop it. Because I'm going to call you to the floor on it. Some of us outside for real. We outside with it. All right? Look at my brother Dreadful Cosmo say, learn some wisdom, man. My brother said you can't get around a white man's hand when it comes to a book, period. Exactly. So now that we got that out the way, now I guess what we got to do, we got to compare the information. Look at YAH'KI, whatever, bro. He put 1, so it is wicked. And then he put the word enlightenment. LOL. You see? Come on, man. Ain't nothing evil about what we talking about. Nothing. Nothing. You dig? I'm not the brother that's down with the dark side. You got slanderous jaw men out there now that claiming, come on to the dark side. Yes, I never think these men are deep. These niggas are low vibrating. He low hanging fruit too. That cat that be pumping the dark side over there on something, he low hanging fruit. He ain't nowhere near ready. You dig? When he was on one of the Bruh channels, I tapped right in to ask him, what is your system? What is your system supply for the first or the primary and secondary education of mortals once they cross over? Like, we all gonna die. So your spiritual system has what? What is the primary and secondary education for mortals when they cross over and die? That brother said, I don't even know. Wow, look at that. So spiritual, but ain't trip off this, ain't even supplied, produced a system that cultivates the spirit and teaches what happens to the spirit when it's done and crosses over. See, we all know we're gonna die. That's objective. Everyone is going to die. It's the objective. Oahspe keep it solid with you, right? But there's primary and second education. Education continues, because remember, you got to raise up to become a highly advanced, high trained spirit or angel or one-time mortal. In order to become that highly advanced and trained, you have to educate. You have to learn how to do this, so the Creator can call on you to go deliver a world or empty out hell. Or the Creator can call on you to assist your brothers and sisters, whether they be angels or mortals, in resurrection, in inspiration, and love, and light, and joy, and peace, and comfort, and ingenuity. You see? Ain't nothing but love over this way, man. Nothing but it. Nothing but light. And anybody offended at light must obviously be in what? Darkness. It's being darkness. Cut that light off! All right, let's get into it. Book of Judgment. So it ain't nothing but love and light over this way, man. I'm not in league with the devil, Satan, you know what I mean, lower self, beastly nature, whatever you want to call it. Not at all. I ain't in league with that at all. You dig? I'm at war with it. I ain't in bed, you know, up under the covers playing footsies, you dig, with dark energy. That's another thing that slanderous jaw Negro said. Dark energy, fam. Well, you sound like a coward. You sound like Jimmy Neutron. I don't know what kind of cloth you cut from, and you supposed to be from Killer City, Jack. You supposed to be from KC. Shout out to my bros in Kansas City. You supposed to be from the town. I don't know how you hear a word and get offended. Who raised you? You heard chakra and crystal and haircuts, and you lose it. How the hell you from? How you from the town and get offended at a word like revelation? How? How you get offended at a word like revelation from the second resurrection? See right there, fam. Oh my God. Or you want to talk about some pictures? You got the nerve of you to talk about any pictures when we all grew up with white Europeans in our mind as God, Jesus, angels, Israelites. But do the text say something different? Do the text say Abraham was an Iowan, pure blood, large, and compared him to like new copper, long black hair, long lofty beard, and was first to look upon? Oahspe tell you that Abraham was a large, big brother, large, big melanated brother, first to look upon, but his soul was as gentle as a woman's. You men on sippy cup status, man. Y'all not ready for nothing we talking about. You dig? Oh man, spirits of the dead. What the hell you think you gonna be one day? A spirit of the dead. Oh man, he was in touch with angels and spirits. And bro, have you read the Bible? Have you even read the Essene? Look, in the Essene literature, they got in there in certain instances where they worship angels. Tell me I'm lying. Which is violation anyway. Worshiping an angel is man worship, bro. There are certain parts in the Essene literature where they actually worship angels. Worship them. But you bring it up as a book that's valid to you. So that means you're worshiping spirits. Come on, man. Stop that. You ain't got what you think you got. You ain't got that over here. You know what I mean? Just to be honest, you ain't got that. All right, let me show a video. It ain't none of y'all ready. Y'all, and the only reason because y'all wasn't solid from the jump. When the war cracked off, y'all went inside. You did. You went inside. Right? We kept bombing, and all praise to the Creator. This is where we at today. All right, we're going into the book of judgment. Oahspe, Sky Earth Spirit. All right, what is the book of judgment about? Being the grades and rates of mortals and angels in the light of God, as the word came to S, daughter of Jehovah or Yahweh. Yeah, there are female angels, women angels dealing with Oahspe, female and male. S is one of them. She's called a daughter of the Creator. She's never worshipped or praised. She just holds the title of a goddess, a high-raised goddess who the Creator called on to handle some of his business for him. Go do this. Inspire these type of men and women. You know what I mean? See, so we showing you how the Creator it manages his creation or administrates with his creation. You did. Shout out to the sisters, man. This over here, this ain't misogynistic at all. Right? Sisters got glory over this way, just like the bros got glory. You know what I mean? It's just you got to roll and rock with the Creator. You can't be dealing with the false deities and gods. Then we start showing concepts of the false deities and gods. You get mad. Well, that's who you must be in bed with. All right. All right. We're going to jump down to chapter 5. All right. Jump down to chapter 5. The Creator gang outside, though. You understand? Like, we ain't claiming we just something special or anything like that, but what we are is confident. The Creator is undefeated. We understand that we're dealing with something that our people don't know about, so we're going to talk about what you don't know. We ain't going to keep pouring over. We ain't going to keep pouring over things, redundant scriptures and all that. You know what I mean? That you already know. We're going to talk about what you don't know. All right? Right here. This is the book of Judgment, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 23. All right, then we're going to get down into chapter 5. We're going to read. All right. We about to go ahead and you know, take a space trip real quick. Y'all ride with your brother. That's right, YAH'KI. A succubus is a female angel. A female demon, supposedly. But no, I'm talking about high-raised angels that are high-raised in the grades, who've been handling business for the Creator for a long time. Gods and goddesses. But again, they are never praised or worshiped. They don't want your praise. They want your brotherhood. Because in order for them to continue to excel and move further into creation, they need you to raise up and take their place. And then you're going to be doing the same thing that they're doing for you. You're going to be doing for those who are still alive and those beneath you. You understand? One hand washes the other. The angels or the spirits of the dead are your brothers and sisters. All right? All right, this is about the reality of the spiritual world. And all this is not a pie in the sky theory. Everything ain't peaches and cream. Some things you need to be aware of. All right, look at this. All right, now this is the book of judgment and the sky earth spirit of Oahspe. All right, chapter 4 and 23. Your Creator is sufficient for you and your resurrection. And for this reason, in your soul, you shall abjure all God's lords and saviors. You heard that? As if the Creator ain't omnipotent. Either he's omnipotent, all-powerful, or he's not. This tells you you're supposed to abjure all God's lords and saviors. Abjure them. Despise that. If they are required for your salvation or for your ascension or for you to become one with your Creator, you're supposed to despise that. Because that's not part of the Creator's program. Look at that. We only supposed to listen to the subject that's uttered. If the message is on point, then you listen. Look at this. Neither should you try to exalt his name by adding to it any name. So you don't add Buddha. You don't add Jesus to the Creator's name. or Buddha to the Creator's name, or Confucius. Neither shall you try to exalt his name by adding to it any name in the shape and figure of man, nor by any one of woman born. Seek to attain his voice in all things, and to obey him for righteousness' sake. Do not be stubborn in your conceit. Seek to attain to his voice in all things. I'm going to hit you with some. All y'all have heard the voice of the Creator and have had it since you were born. Our problem is we give it religion and it suppresses the intuition. Or I don't even like saying that, the voice of the Creator that's within you. It suppresses it. And then you start second guessing it, like, no, that ain't right. And then you understand, you take words or ink on paper over the voice that you were born with. Look at this. In your singleness of purpose, you shall be ministered to by the spirits of the first resurrection. But as you unite yourself in a brotherhood on earth, in the name of Jehovah, Yahweh, so shall you be ministered to by the light of my second resurrection. Create a gang, boy. See, we can't. The one thing about what Oahspe teaches, nobody is getting nowhere dolo. You ain't getting nowhere solo. You ain't getting up past your nostrils. You're gonna be bound to the earth. You an individual? No, we supposed to unite in a brotherhood. Bring all our resources together, you understand, and move out. And move with purpose, vision, and power. So I'm just one brother or one teammate, right, on the Creator Gang team. One teammate of many. It's a gang of us. You understand? We mob deep like the angel ambassadors of the Creator. It's a gang of us. Can't even put a number on it. It did. Why? Because you're supposed to unite yourself in a brotherhood on earth. And by doing that, what happens? We get ministered to or served by the angels of the second resurrection, the higher resurrections. Not the earthbound spirits that people that deal with voodoo and hoodoo and all these religious systems and spiritual systems in the earth. All those are earthbound spirits they're dealing with. Some of them are spirits below the grave. We're talking about being ministered to from the higher resurrections. Look at this. But it has been proven, it shall be proven again, that all brotherhoods on earth founded on any of the idols in heaven shall not stand. Shall not stand. It don't matter. Look at this. Because there is no second resurrection to minister to them. All the false gods ain't in the second resurrection, y'all. They right here. They in atmosphere. They in the lower heavens. Bound. First resurrection. Look at this. And all societies, constitutions, and bylaws founded by men not capable of the second resurrection shall fail. But whoever establishes in the second resurrection, which is the denial of self, the abnegation of self to serve the Creator, shall not fail. So the Creator's method of salvation, if you want to call it that, or his heavenly kingdoms, is for you to deny yourself and work hard to raise others up, just like the angels do for you. You must do for others. Remove all the idols out of your heart, none above your Creator. And righteous works done unto others. Work to purify your body. That's it. That's it. And then look at this. Chapter 5, judgment of the Jews. Israel ain't in there. What do it say about the Israelites? You done slid down a razor blade and fell into an alcohol bath. Boy, you don't even know it. Y'all claim y'all know what the Oahspe is talking about. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have a clue about what's going on here. You dig? Man, ain't Captain talking about Israel ain't in Oahspe, the Israelites, and this is just one spot of many. You dig? The Essenes for the brothers that's the slanderous jaw Essenes out there. The history of the Essenes is right in there. Tell you Yahshua was an Essene. Never ate the flesh. But it explains what that the Star of Bethlehem was. Powerful. Powerful. Yahshua was a man sent by the Creator, had the line of light of the Creator on him, and was murdered. Yeah. Yahshua and Oahspe. Easy work. Chapter 5 of judgment of the Yahudim of the Jews. Hear the words of your God, O Israel. Hear the words of your God, O Israel. Do not shut yourself up against the wisdom of your elder brother, God of heaven and earth. Bag drop, boy. God is your brother, not your father. Israel has a God. It just so happened that the majority of Israel been dealing with the false deities and gods like Baal and them, pump faking like that, the creator. Then you had the Essenes who was actually dealing with the creator's light. But remember, God is an angel, though. God is not the creator. God is your brother. So now when we read Psalms 82 and 6, you know, ye are all gods, but children of the Most High. But you should die like men. So God was a one-time man. He's an angel. Cross over, become an angel, and rise up to the words of God. So this is your brother with plenty of experience in the earth and in the heavens. Why wouldn't we listen? Sent by the creator to assist you in your resurrection and raising your spiritual grade and turning your light up. Shut not. Do not shut yourself up against the wisdom of your elder brother, God of heaven and earth, nor magnify the ancient days above the present, nor feign and say your God is going away to come no more forever. Behold, you have gone forth as a little man to battle against a giant. With your sling, you have smitten him with your one stone, Yahweh, Jehovah. Sound like David and Goliath, huh? You were encompassed on all sides. You were surrounded on all sides by a multiplicity of gods. You hear that, Israel? A multiplicity of gods. One by one, you have overcome them. You cast them out. The giant of the great beast, the false gods, lies dead and cold at your feet. Come on home, Israel. We bring correction to the matter. We giving you the creator. The giant of the great beast, the false gods, lies dead and cold at your feet. The nations of the earth cry out. There is only one great spirit, Jehovah, Yahweh. See, every man and woman's birthright is to become one with his creator, the great spirit. The creator, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever name you throwing in, as long as you ain't talking about a man that fought. They got a backside. That was born of a woman. No. Now the creator is unbegotten. Nobody sired him. The creator is unbegotten. Look at this. The nations of the earth cry out, there is only one great spirit, Jehovah. And I declare to you, O Israel, the voice of the I am is not gone from the earth. Through the seed of the faithless, I have held up the Father's kingdom. By the voice of my beloved, founded him in all the nations of the earth. Your enemy exalted, saying, behold, they are a scattered people. But your God profited in your footsteps. In the words of your mouth, there is only one great spirit, Jehovah, Yahweh. So this is, the Israelites. Right in the Bible, man. Or right in Oahspe. Negroes running around, ain't nothing about the Israelites. Look, that's how I know you ain't read nothing. That's how I know your questions ain't sincere. Because look, we would have set you down and gave you this real quick. We're gonna talk about what you don't know, and that's the problem. Men are running their mouth about what they don't know. You don't know, and it's okay not to know something, right? But if you don't know, then you don't got the authority to speak on it. Then look at this. And I have provided to you after the manner of your forefathers a place to inhabit, where you shall not longer pay tribute to the gods of the idolaters or the idolaters. Come out of the darkness of despotism and inherit the wilderness of this land, and it shall bloom like a new paradise before your hand. So come out of the darkness of ruling by brutal force. That's what despotism or despotism is. To rule something by brutal force. You hear what Big Brother is telling us? You hear what our brother, God of heaven and earth, is telling us? Stop trying to rule something, you Israelites, by brutal force and brutality. Because your God don't get down like that. Come out of the darkness of despotism and inherit the wilderness of this land, and it shall bloom like a new paradise before your hand. But because you have accomplished the one ever present, Behold, you shall no longer be an exclusive people, but shall allow your sons and daughters to commingle with the faithfulness of all the races and tribes of men. That's where certain people got a problem with. But if you be real with yourself, you already in certain relationships with other nations of people. And if you be real with yourself, y'all, we all mixed up. What's the proof? Go take you a DNA test or take 3 of them so you can have 3 witnesses, right? And everything that come back is going to show that you are not 100% of anything. Man is mixed up, all right? And that's how you know you're not supposed to be judging nothing based off an ancient like bloodline. Like, nigga, this is what it is because I'm this from all them years ago. Bro, you all mixed up. Just because you identify with an ideology that's ancient, don't take away the fact that we all have mixture or admixture in us. You ain't a pure-blooded nothing. I'm going to ask a rhetorical question. Say we talking about co-mingling and marrying your daughters and your sons with others of different nations, but their spirit is one with the Creator as well. All right, would you want your daughter or your son to marry somebody of their own nation that's a damn devil? That's demonic, that's vibrating low in grade. Or somebody of another nation, you know what I mean? Say a Hispanic. Would you rather your son marry an Hispanic that was a faithist? A faithist is somebody that has faith in the ever-present, all-knowing, unseen Creator. Would you rather your son marry an Hispanic that was a faithist or a Bantu woman from the Congo that was into voodoo and hoodoo and dealing with deity worship? It's a rhetorical question. You know what I mean? Only you can answer that. All right. But what Oahspe is saying is what already is happening, y'all. We already been co-mingled. We already mixed up. Right? So now you got to judge the spirit or the essence of a thing, you know, to be like if that person is solid or not. That's it. And again, it's rhetorical. You know, you got to deal with that. Right? Some people don't like talking to people of other nations, period. You know what I mean? Some people do. Some people in the interracial. I know Israelites that don't even agree with us, but into interracial marriages and all that. Some people ain't. Right? Oahspe is letting it be known you're all mixed up. Right? Allow your people, Israel, to you're not exclusive. You're all mixed up. Right? You shall allow your sons and daughters to commingle with the faithless, those who have faith in the ever-present, unseen, all-knowing Creator of all races and tribes of men. Look at this. And you shall forsake the ways of the world and go and live in the manner of your forefathers in colonies without kings or rulers, serving none but the Creator. And your people shall hold all things in common. Communal living, being neither rich nor poor, master nor servant. And you shall call out to the idolater and idolater, saying, come into my house and be one with me. Behold, there is only one Creator. You are my brother. So you reforming the idolater too. Showing him the folly and idolatry and worshiping images of stone and wood, or even worshiping and being in service to a false deity and God. Truth. Look at this. And it shall come to pass for you, O Israel. And it shall come to pass for you, O Israel. The way of your people shall be open, and they shall be delivered out of the bound kingdoms of the east. You mean you still think this ain't talking about you captive Israelites? Oahspe is for you. The first page said, I come not only to liberate the physical man, but also the spiritual man. And now Oahspe is admitting that the Israelites are bound in kingdoms. And they shall be delivered out of the bound kingdoms of the east. Because, strip off this, Israel. Strip off this, Israel. Because for 2,000 years, it's talking to you today, Israel. Because for 2,000 years, you have not gone forth with the sword to possess any new country and establish yourself. You're glorified before your God. See, we don't get any inheritance through bloodshed and war. Because of your long suffering, you shall find peace through the light of my kingdoms. Behold, a new cycle is upon the earth. That's what we've been trying to tell everybody. There's a new vibration out here. There's been a change of the guard. Right? It's not the same. Like what our grandmamas and mothers was dealing with back in early 1900s and late 1800s is not what it is today. That's a total different vibration out here. Because of your long suffering, you shall find peace through the light of my kingdoms. Behold, a new cycle is upon the earth. Your people shall find proof of these, my words. My angels will come into the houses of your people, and they shall talk with them face to face. Do not think, listen to this, y'all. Do not think that this book is my only revelation in this day. Within your house, O Israel, you shall prepare for the voice of your God. Bag drop, wait. Huh? Oahspe ain't saying read this and only this and this just what it is. But another vibration is saying that. Oahspe so cold is letting you know you ain't exclusive. You all mixed up. Hey, Israel, your God is the captain of heaven and earth. I'm your brother. You ain't went and possessed no country by warfare, so you actually are a light in the eyes of your God. And then he gets down to her and tell you, don't think that this book is my only revelation in this day within your house, O Israel. You shall prepare for the voice of your God. Ain't heard nothing evil yet. Look at this. For I will raise up many seers and prophets among your people, Israel, and they shall testify to my words on all sides. Do not judge, O Israel. Do not judge, O Israel. Do not judge, O Israel, as to who are apostates before your God. I say to you, he who forsakes Yahweh, Jehovah, and worships mammon and the ways of the world is an apostate in my sight. Boy, what are you talking about? A lot of you slanderous jaw Negroes claim we lost the light. Look at it. For even though they maintain the rites and ceremonies, they have forsaken the spirit and truth of my commandments. Whereas many have forsaken the rites and ceremonies in search of higher light, or more to the way of the Creator. For though they keep the rites and ceremonies, do they not drink to drunkenness and eat to gluttony, feasting on animal sandwiches, feasting on flesh, on which they have taken life? There shouldn't be an Essene or a Nazarene in the earth. They got a problem with that verse. Or anything we done read. What is we even talking about here? Feasting on flesh from which they have taken life. And they engage in selling wine and in dealing in stocks. Wow. Like the idolater, the idolater, while your forefathers were scrupulous to labor and brought forth out of the earth that with which to feed and clothe man. And they say God prospered me, in which they falsify me and blaspheme Jehovah and his kingdoms. I say to you, they are prospered by Satan. Good night, boy. Good night. God telling you those that's out here prospering at the expense of others are prospered by Satan. And their prosperity is the wages of bondage in heaven. What you call prosperity is shackles in the afterlife. And because of their wickedness, they have led my people to disbelieve in my justice and the plans of my kingdoms, for which reason they are more apostatized in my sight than those who are good, who say there is no God. Like, wow. Those who are good but are atheists are better off than those running around here claiming they are prosperous at the heavy expense of others. He's saying those who are atheists but still out here doing good work are better off than those who claim they believe but are prosperous at the demise of others. They are prospered by Satan and not by God or the Creator. All right. Verse 30. Throw open your doors, O Israel. Throw open your doors, O Israel. My angels stand at the threshold. Throw open your doors, O Israel. It's to you Israelites. Throw open your doors, O Israel. My angels stand at the threshold. These my words, which I have told to you beforehand, shall be corroborated by hundreds of thousands of witnesses from my heavens. Not 2 or 3 witnesses, y'all. Hundreds of thousands of witnesses from my heavens. Look at this. Seek for the resurrection of your soul, O Israel, so the Creator may be glorified in you forever and ever. Oh, way if you get an understanding. If you heard something that resonated with your spirit, give me a 1 up in the chat, man. Bless up, boy. Running around talking about Israel ain't in the Oahspe. Stop it. You don't know because you ain't read, so we're gonna talk about what you don't know. You dig? Just your concept of creator can't be jacked up. We ain't talking about somebody that's limited in power, who has to come down and see, somebody that regret that they made man or repented that they made. We ain't talking about that. Now talking about somebody that's vengeful, jealous, evil, angry, somebody who hasn't learned or mastered their emotions. We ain't talking about that. Chapter 6 of resurrection in the words of God. Whether on earth or in heaven, the same rules apply to both. He who serves himself 1/2 and serves others 1/2 shall stand grade 50. So a lot of y'all didn't know that Oahspe gives you a way to where you can grade yourself spiritually. You can know what kind of spiritual grade you have. You know? What you mean which one is better? What you mean which one is a benefit? Wouldn't you like to know and understand how to calculate your spiritual grade and what you need to do to raise it? Because resurrection is graduation. It's all about your grade. If you have been risen in grade enough, you understand, to ascend into a higher vibration or the higher heavens, your grade got to be up though. All right, so Oahspe actually gives you a way to grade yourself. That's cold, man. All right, so he who serves himself 1/2 and serves others 1/2 shall stand grade 50. You 50-50. It makes sense. 50% of the time is all about you, self. 50% of the time is all about others. Grade 50. All right, look at this. He who serves himself 3/4. He who serves himself 3/4 and others 1/4 shall stand grade 25. Makes sense? Huh? 75% of the time is all about you. You're selfish 75% of the time. 25% of the time, you may do something righteous for somebody else. You understand? Well, you at grade 25. He who serves himself 1/4 and others 3/4 shall stand grade 75. All right, so you're only selfish 25% of the time. The rest of the time, it's about what you can do for others and blessing others. This is how you grade yourself. This is how you can tell what kind of grade you are at right now. And you don't have to wait to die to see what you're grading. Right now, you can tell where you at. Right? And you're given the tools to know what you need to do to raise your grade higher. Higher. All right? The earth is just a school, man. It's a classroom. All right, but there comes a time when you must graduate. All right? Upon your death is graduation. But what's your spiritual grade going to be? Can you imagine being below the grades? Can you imagine having a 2, a 3, 4, a 5 in grade? Come on, man. Like, are you really working and laboring to do righteous work unto others? Because if that's what you're doing, you understand, guess what? You're being graded. You're being graded regardless, but now you know how to track your grade. All right, now you know when you out there, you know what I mean, out there in the field being proactive with the knowledge, you can consciously say, like, I'm going to do something righteous for somebody today because that's what I need to be doing. Selfishly, selflessly, should I say. All right, so this makes sense right here. He who serves himself 1/4 and others 3/4 shall stand grade 75. He who serves himself only, it's only about you. He who serves himself only, this is somebody that's selfish, shall stand grade 1. Boy, you in the first grade. That boy in the first grade. So now you know if you're being selfish, now you can curb that. You can say, you know what, I'm gonna start working on that. Because all I do is think about myself. I don't think about nobody else. That means you in the first grade, spiritually speaking, Jack. Your grade ain't even higher enough to resurrect to the higher resurrection. You earthbound, right? But you can always raise up even more. Look at this. He who serves others wholly shall stand grade 99. Right? Because you have those who are all about laboring for others. They don't even trip off themselves. I salute that. That's, you understand? That's somebody who can sacrifice and give away all for the benefit of others. Look at the grade they in, 99. 99. Right? More than sufficient enough to resurrect the body. All right. And whoever serves accordingly himself or others shall stand in grade, even as his works manifest. To serve oneself, what about this, y'all? To serve oneself. This is what that means. To serve oneself is to work for oneself, to strive for oneself, to think of one's own self as to what will benefit one's own self only. To serve others. Serve others is to do good to others, to help them, to teach them, to give them joy and comfort. This is the service of the Creator. What is we even talking about her? What is we even talking about her? You mean to tell me Oahspe shows you how to grade yourself, how to track your spiritual grade and what you need to do to raise your grade, right? Then it gives you an example on what it means to serve yourself and what it means to serve others. What's evil about that, man? What slanderous mouth Negro got a problem with this? There's nothing wrong with that. You dig? It's showing you. That's why I said this is a practical guidebook to the spiritual life, because this is how the angels get down too. You see that? So live to your highest light today. Do something righteous for somebody. You know what I mean? Coming from a place of being selfless, not selfish. Don't do it to be seen and, you know, applauded or none of that. Stop being a misfit all your damn life. Be honorable and solid for once. Look at this. So the service of the Creator is to bring joy to others, y'all. Righteous work done unto others. That's how you are serving of the Creator. All right? Bring joy. Why? Everybody, time you come in the room, everything get all serious and cold. Ain't no laughing going on. You can't enjoy ourselves. But there are some who are below the grades, who seek to do evil, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. These, if mortal, shall be called drugs, and if spirits, shall be called drudges. Y'all see this? Or drujas. So, again, it's on you to read somebody's spirit. And you can feel when it's off. You're like, oh, man, I got to get up out of here, boy. It's so thick around here, you can chop it with an axe. I got to go. See, now it's on you. You've been liberated. You free. Now it's on you to read the spirit on people when you're around them or in the situation. You just feel like something about to go down. You better get up out of there. But there are some who are below the grades. They in sippy cup status, pre-K mode. They ain't even in kindergarten. But look what kind of spiritual fruit, rotten fruit they produce, who seek to make others unhappy, who delight in crime and pollution. A lot of us have people like this in our life. These, if mortal, should be called drugs. Now you know what a drug is. If spirits, shall be called drudges or drujas. Look at this. The grades of my heavens of the earth. The grades of my heavens of the earth being atmosphere in general follow this matter. Grade 1 is on the earth. Wow. First grade is still on the earth. Wow. Grade 50, midway between the earth and the emancipated heavens, ethereal. Grade 25 is 1/4 of the way up from the earth toward ethereal, but grade 75 is 3/4 of the way up toward ethereal, and so on. Intermediate grades and places of ascent corresponding in like manner. But grade 99 is the highest. Atmospherian grade, preparatory or preparing you to entrance into the company of the all pure in spirit. So 99 is the highest grade you can get, atmospherically speaking, and that's preparing you for entrance into your inheritance, the highest or the higher heavens, right? The heavens that are not bound to the earth, which are the atmosphere. The heavens outside the atmosphere, which you know is space. And there's many worlds, Jack. Millions and countless of worlds, right? That's why the Creator may call on y'all one day to go manage your world and help raise up mortals and angels. You know what I mean? Inspire them in the righteousness. Inspire them in ingenuity. Inspire them in laughter. You know what I mean? Progress, man. Angels been at work behind the scenes for a long time. The Bible tells you that angels are ministering spirits of fire, sent forth to be heirs to them or sent forth to be a comfort, basically, or a help to those who shall be heirs to salvation. Angels are there to assist you in your resurrection. Look at this. But good works alone are not sufficient to attain the highest grades. Ooh-wee. So you thought you can just go outside and feed enough people bologna meat, and that's enough? Huh? Good works alone are not sufficient. There's more to it to attain the highest grades. Look at this. To accomplish which those of the higher grades shall often return to the lower and learn to lift them up. This is what caused the Etherians in the times of resurrections. Accordingly, the righteous who are yet mortal begin at once lifting up their fellows. That's our job. Even with these debates, our job is to expose the darkness, shine the light, and lift you up, to intrigue you, to have you be like, you know what, I ain't never tripped off that before. What's the name of that? And I'm about to go order that and read that. See, that's us lifting up our fellow man. That's us demolishing the racial divide, the racial barrier, demolishing it. They gotta go. You can't even come outside with that no more. The younger generation really ain't even on what their grandparents was back then. I'm talking about across the board, whether you talking about white folk, black folk, we ain't on the same thing our parents was on at all. It's totally different. You know what I mean? And even MLK said something, even though we know his background, but he said something that stands true to this day. So he must have got it from the Creator. Man is not to be judged by the color of his skin, but by the what? The content of his character. That's true. So him saying that, he must have got that from the Creator. That right there. You did. So now you got to read spirits. It's on you. All right. Your rise or your declension, your rise or your fall is completely on you. Every tub got to sit on its own bottom, Jack. All right. Accordingly, the righteous who are yet mortal begin at once lifting up their fellows, which labor is to the spirit as exercise is to the mortal body. You hear that? Lifting up your fellow man, lifting up a so-called below the grade spirit is what exercise is to the body. What exercise is to the body, the benefit exercise gives to the body is that you get that benefit in spirit and you lift up somebody that's below the grades or in darkness or you assist. It benefits your spirit in every way. You get stronger and stronger. Look at this. Judge then yourself, O man. Judge then yourself, O man of the earth, as to the place your spirit will rise in the time of your death. It's on you. Not as you know, grade 25, 50, 75, or 99. And whether either you're selfish or you're selfless. All right. Now you can judge yourself as to the place your spirit will rise in the time of your death. Is that not a benefit? You mean to tell me you ain't got to wait till you die to understand what part of the atmosphere your spirit will reside in? You ain't got to wait. You won't be surprised when you cross over. You got a way to track your grade now, and you got a way to raise it now. And guess what? Based off how you move, how you talk, how you handle up. Now you can judge yourself as to the place your spirit will rise in the time of your death. You either going to heaven for the 50s. Five crib. You going to the heavens for the 50s, 25s, the 99s, the 75s, or maybe you going to the first grade. And now you know where man gets his inspiration to number his neighborhoods and his blocks and get it all from the spirit world. All your blocks got numbers on them. All your gangs come with a number and letters. But they get all that from the spirit realm. You know what I mean? Because if you serve yourself half and others half, you going to the heaven situated for the 50s. Five crib. If you serve yourself 25% of the time and 75% of the time you serve others, you're going to a heaven situated for the 75s. So where you think man gets the inspiration to number his avenues and his streets and his corners and his blocks, he gets it from the spirit world. And then once man name or number that, then gangs form and start claiming that. So now you can judge yourself, old man. If that ain't a benefit, what is? You don't have to wait till you're dead to to understand where you're going. And then from there, it's just up. You can always raise your grade more and get higher. If y'all get some understanding so far, give me an 8 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. What's the word, baby? My father Lux in the building, my brother. Yeah, Crip Mac, that's my dude. There, boy, I laugh so hard at him, man. Oh my God. I laugh so hard at old Crip Mac, man. That dude is funny, boy. Boy, hey, Crip Mac, boy, I see you out there feeding the homeless, brother. I see you out there feeding. Hey, that brother got a good heart, man. I'm going to tell you something. Credit to use them gangsters, man. You dig? Credit use them gangsters. I'm telling you. You dig? Because a lot of them move off what's called common sense or street knowledge. That's how they survive. You dig? But Crip Mac, and you looking at him like he a gang banger, he's filthy, and he mess around and be going to a higher resurrection than most of us. Because all he do is feed the homeless. Every day you look at his channel, that man with them gang tats on his face, is feeding the homeless, doing righteousness. You know what I mean? Like, I salute that. And on top of that, he's funny, man. So if Crip Mac knew, hey, you may be going to the heavens for the 50s, Crip Mac, man. Well, he gonna lose. He gonna go crazy. He gonna like the 50s on fire. You 5 me? You 5 me? Your own hood. Crip Mac funny, man. You may be going to the heaven for the 50s, big dog. All right, chapter 7. And now you can gauge yourself. You understand how to grade yourself, right? Oahspe is beneficial for you in every way, shape, form, or fashion. You don't have to, over here, you ain't got to wait till you die to understand where you're going, right? If I was to ask you chapter and verse, what is your spiritual grade according to the Bible, chapter and verse? Couldn't tell me. I know because I've been up and down the Bible several times, cover to cover, right? 18 years for me. So I know there's not a grading system in the Bible to where a man, while he's living, can gauge himself and grade himself. You feel me? And know where he's going, where his place, where his spirit will be placed, right? At the time of his death when he cross over. That's a very great benefit to have. Because now if you can consciously gauge the actions you do every day, the things you say every day, right? The good versus the evil you do every day. You can gauge that and know where you stand. You see? And if you fall, you know how to get back up and rise up higher. You see? This is practical. This ain't just talking. You can go apply this now. Right? That's a benefit. And I ain't heard nothing demonic yet. I'm going to keep calling you slanderous jaw Negroes to the floor. I ain't heard nothing evil yet, man. Everybody running their mouth about Oahspe, calling it evil, has not read it. You ain't even read this. All right? Right, Yafa. Exactly, Yafa. Your flesh goes to, well, really, your flesh disintegrates. It turns to dust. But what happened to your spirit? Well, some people say you reincarnate dealing with the Bible. Others say you go to sleep in Abraham's bosom, or you get tormented until you get thrown head first into the lake of fire. Well, everybody that's ever died is sleep. All right, look at this right here. Chapter 7, the book of judgment. Oahspe. Oahspe. Book of judgment. Sound like we cooking with the vortex today, baby. Hey, Dreadful Cosmine 99 Mafia Crib. Boy, hey, C-Mac, get this information because he already doing what he just inspired to do. Man, that man feed the homeless every day. It's funny. I'm like, it ain't funny. It's inspiring. Like, that's what's up, bro. You know what I mean? Because man will judge a book by its cover and say that man ain't talking about that man, even though he bang. He ain't just no gang member, he a gang banger. You dig? This man feeds the poor. I'm talking about come out there with pizza stacked this high every day. You know what I mean? So yeah, salute those as I heard being led by their higher light. You know what I mean? Unapologetically, I salute y'all. Dig? Chapter 7, Book of Judgment. A man may be wise as the books. A man may be wise as the books, philosophy, mathematics, poetry, and great learning, and yet be low in grade as the spirit. You heard this? Yeah, you may be smart according to man, but your spiritual grade is still low. And remember, in order for you to rise higher, your grade got to be up. This is school, y'all. Resurrection is just simply graduation. Life don't stop once you cross over. You continue to grow and graduate and excel, or you may fall. You may decline. But eventually you got to rise up because you're going to get tired of getting beat on. You're going to get tired of being below the grade. You're going to get tired of not seeing the higher heavens and all that. So you could be smart according to man and be wise according to man, but still be a low-graded spirit. So money and intellect, you feel me? Just because you got the most money or just because you got the most college degrees don't mean you hold weight over this way. You still may be low in spirit, low in grade. A man may know little of all such knowledge and may be poor also, but by hardship and experience, developing sympathy and good works, developing sympathy and good works done to others, be high in grade as the spirit. You see that? And maybe those who ain't got none of that, man, ain't got the greatest education, ain't got the most money, right? But he has sympathy for the poor. He has sympathy and good works. Right? He's high in grade, right? And that's how you judge a man or a sister or a woman, based off their spirit, not based off their material possessions. Ain't none of that going with them. All that's irrelevant. All that's irrelevant to the grade rising. Right, and the more you accumulate, the more you're bound to that when you cross over. All right, a lot of y'all free spirited. Let that be that. You know what I mean? Straight up, because that's your creator letting you know, no, it's liberation in me. So it may be also with spirits who manifest through you as great orators, that they stand even in the lowest grade in heaven. Do not let yourself deceive yourself, oh man, as to your knowledge or your speech or your professions. You have the scales in your own hands. And shall sooner or later weigh yourself justly and take your place, even as you have prepared yourself. So you got to judge yourself. You got to critique yourself. What are you offended at? Even Bible tells you if we judge ourselves, we wouldn't be judged. Meaning you got to critique yourself. You got the scales in your own hand. Judge yourself, man. Sooner or later, you got to raise up. Right? But you got to raise up, though. You got to do that. All right, look at this. Neither flatter yourself that you can cheat heaven or change his ways, nor hide yourself behind doctrines or behind the promises of gods or saviors. Old things are done away with. Old things are done away with. Old things are done away with. And none of these things shall help you on earth or in heaven. Whether you are a king, queen, judge, or servant, the same judgment shall stand upon all. When the garment is gone, and the diadem, riches and flesh also, consider the grade of your spirit and the bondage upon you. When all your material possessions and even your flesh disintegrates, consider the grade of your spirit. Since we all know we're gonna die one day, you can start with that now. I wonder what spirit grade I'm at. I wonder if I crossed over right now, where my spirit would land at. What's the grade? Are you selfish or are you selfless? Right? Then it comes down to what percentage of the time are you there? And that determines. Consider the grade of your spirit and the bondage upon you. You shall take that for which you have fitted yourself, according to what you have done. Yeah, so even if it's hell, you built it yourself. You put yourself in. Every tub must sit on his own bottom. You dig? If it's understanding going on, y'all, if it's clarity, if you're understanding that there's a way that you can proactively track your spiritual grade and thus understand which kind of heaven you are going to once you cross over, and from there going forward, if you understand that, give me a 3 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up. Chapter 8, Book of Judgment. Let me check the chat. Let me check the chat. See y'all in the building, man. All praises to the ever-present creator. I ain't heard nothing evil yet. Nothing. Hey, Yafa, make sure you stop me when you hear something evil. When you hear something satanic, sadistic, evil, you may hear a few things you may disagree with. That's just because that's just where you at. But I'm asking for the evil. because slanderous jaw, mealy mouth Negroes online claiming that we dealing with something evil, bearing false witness, answering a matter before they heard it, and ain't even read it because it is impossible for you to read this and call it evil. It's impossible. We haven't read anything evil yet. If anything, we've learned why Oahspe is a benefit. You mean to tell me you can track your spiritual grade right now? We even learned that Oahspe is dealing with Israelites. But Israel is not exclusive. It ain't just you. Nothing is exclusive about you. You weren't the first ones to circumcise in the earth. You weren't the first ones to wear fringes. You weren't the first one with the language, the Hebrew language. That's Phoenician. You ain't even the only one with a God named Yahweh or Yahuwah. Nothing is exclusive about you. You feel me? So Israel, the creator is not exclusive just to Israel. It's about, you want to be chosen, choose the creator. That's who the chosen are. The chosen are those who choose the creator. Right? And what is the creator's program? Righteousness done unto others. Remove the idols out of your heart. Work on purity of your body. Bag drop. Organize in the communities, you know what I mean? And work righteousness, because that's how the angels move in the heavens. And once you start doing that, you're being led by the angels of the second resurrection. All right? Oahspe is a benefit to you. It's a benefit. You can grade yourself now. Meaning you don't got to wait till you cross over to understand where it is you're going. Right? Most of our people going to cross over and be oblivious. If we ask you, what are you going to be doing in heaven? Chapter and verse. You ain't got it. There's nothing. What you talking about? Some slavery? What are you going to be doing? Because eventually you're going to be, remember, Jeebus said what? That you was going to be doing greater works than him. That's when it happens, when you cross over. So what kind of training are you going to be going through? Or are you going to be learning to do greater things than what you read Jesus did in the Bible? That comes with a certain knowledge, which comes with a certain training. Yeah, so the education and the training, the schooling, the laboring, none of that stops when you cross over. Right? You know how it was a system prepared for you when you was born? You were birthed and there were guardians here to receive you. There were nurseries, there were hospitals, there were doctors, attendants, right? You were birthed into a situation that was already prepared for you. It's the same when you cross over. You die and you're birthed into the spirit world as a newborn spirit. And there's already a whole system in order set up for you. Right? And based off what you did in this life determines where your spirit initially is going to be at. And then from there, you learn and grow and continue to rise higher and higher. And you raise higher and higher by the righteous work you do for others, whether it be angels on the other side or inspiring mortals. You understand? To righteousness, to progression, to love, to liberty. Look at this right here. Let's get back to it. Book of Judgment, chapter 8, Oahspe. We get understanding. These light bombs, y'all. Light bombs. Light. You did. We're going to be shining that light. Let's get back to it as we take this space trip. Right? Good to know we ain't dealing with nothing satanic and sadistic like all the slanderous y'all Negroes are saying. Hear my words, oh man, and consider the justice of your creator. These are my exhibits which I place before you, so that you shall not err. And if you are a rich man and adorn a city by donating a park with statues and pleasure walks, hoping by that to glorify yourself and be praised by men in this, yourself buries you in the first resurrection, and the act lowers your grade instead of raising it. You hear that? Because some people, you know what kind of wisdom we get out of that? Because some people have the resources and the ability to do things for others, but they're doing it only to be applauded by men. And if that's the case, right, what you just did lowers your grade instead of raising it. See, we're going to deal with true charity. True charity. Here you go, donating a park, a museum, a hospital. But you're doing it for the applause of others. You buried yourself in the first resurrection. You ain't rising up past your earlobes. And you lowered your grade. So everything that you do ain't necessarily right and truthful charity. Some things are not charity. Or some things lower your grade. So that's beneficial. Don't you need to know that? You need to know what raises your grade and what lowers it. Look at this. And if this information is wrong, tell them cats come with some corresponding information that either can match this or is better. Because no spiritual text gives you an example or the examples on how to grade yourself and what you need to do to raise your grade and what you need to stay away from that lowers your grade. Chapter and verse it out of any spiritual text. What grade you talking about? Mally your spiritual grade, because if your spiritual grade ain't at a certain rate by the time you die or by the time of resurrection, you understand, then you ain't going nowhere. You're gonna be a wandering spirit, bound. Right? You're gonna be on the short spirit bus, bound. For in whatever you give, you shall consider first the lowest of the low, whether they have bread to eat and a place to sleep, and the sick, whether they have attendance and good provision. And if you are a rich man and contribute a house for orphans or for the helpless and aged who cannot help themselves, it raises you in grade. But to the extent that you do this for the applause of men, you detract from the rate of your beneficence. You hear that? If you were doing anything for a standing ovation or a pat on the back or any of that, you understand, you actually take away from your spirit grade. Now we know, right? You can't be selfish up in YAH'S kingdom. You can't be selfish out here shining light. No. For one, we all are a team. I am one teammate of countless of faithists, countless of brothers and sisters that are part of the creator gang. I'm just one teammate of countless. We a gang. We move out mob deep. Right? Nothing gets done for the applause of men. Because if we doing anything that we call charity for a standing ovation, we take away from our grade. Thus, guess what? And the longer we take away from our grade, the longer we are bound, stuck where we at. Look at this. Look at this. Nor does such a good work help you any more than, look at this. Look at this. Nor does such a good work help you any more than the poor man helps his own grave by assisting one poor orphan. For your resurrection. Look at this, y'all. Benefit. All right. For your resurrection does not depend on the quantity you give. Your resurrection does not depend on the quantity you give, but as to whether you give according to what you have, of which matter you should judge yourself. Yeah. You got to judge that yourself. It ain't about the quantity. It's about what you giving based off what you have, right? For he who gives a penny may be raised up more by doing so than he that gives 10 times 10,000. For he who gives a penny may be raised up more by doing so than he that gives 10 times 10,000. Y'all, 10 times 10,000 is what? 100,000. Look at this. That is right here. A certain rich man, being converted from the desires of earth, went about casting his money freely in the streets and then giving to all those who asked for some. And some gathered it up and fed and clothed themselves. Others took it and went and got drunk and became worse than before. The measure of righteousness of that man's behavior was not in giving what he had to the poor, but in the good and evil that came of it. Being weighed as to which outbalanced the other. Y'all hear this? The measure of righteousness of that man's behavior was not in giving what he had to the poor, just because he was giving away free money, right? To determine if that was righteous or not, right? Ain't about him just giving away money, but in the good and evil that came of it. Being weighed as to which outbalanced the other. So which one you think? You think more evil came out of this man just giving away his money, or more righteousness? Let's see. Look at this. And where he lowered the grade of those who received his money, or where he lowered a greater number than he raised, there his act of casting the money away was judgment against him. He lowered the grade of those who received his money, or where he lowered a greater number than he raised, right? Him giving away that money actually was a judgment against him. because he lowered more grades of people, spiritual grades of people, than the grades he raised up by giving away that money the way he gave it. And he also lowered the grade of those who receive it. Look at this. He who gives, saying, "Here, you beggar," does a good physical act, but an evil spiritual act. He lifts up with one hand, but knocks down with the other, i.e., injures with his tongue. Such an act detracts from the grade of that man. You hear that? I don't be out here getting your grade snatched. Don't be out here losing your outdate, boy. You only here for a season, and you got to get up out of here. Don't be in here extending your number. Oahspe cold, boy, I tell you. You know that all charity ain't true charity. And some things you do is judgment against you. It takes away from your grade. Look at this. Look at this. A certain rich man being converted to do good works went and built a score of soup houses to feed the poor gratuitously. And all the poor people of that town went to them and were fed. But the next year, behold, there were twice as many poor. And the rich man built another score of soup houses, and they were all fed. But the next year, there were still twice as many poor people to feed. But the rich man had exhausted his means and could feed none at all. Judgment is therefore rendered against the man for this supposed beneficence. For while he did a little corporeal, physically good, he did a great spiritual wrong, because he lowered the grade of manhood and womanhood in those whom he fed. Why? Because his benevolence, his building soup houses and feeding them, promoted dependence upon him. You see? Judgment is therefore rendered against that man for his supposed beneficence. Why? Because what you did promoted dependence. They all depend on you to feed them. Right? You didn't produce a situation or produce a program that helped them raise themselves up and showed them how to feed themselves. Then you just fed them. Right? So necessarily giving money to the poor on the streets, right? It just depends on if that money is used for righteousness or wickedness. If it's used for wickedness, then that charity that you just did is actually a judgment against you. You actually lowered the grade of that man. And you didn't give him anything to raise him up to where he's not dependent on you, right? And you never showed him a skill on how he can make sure he not only feeds himself, but feeds his family. I see how this works. So you can't hide behind the Catholic charities, and the Catholics give away so much food. Man, the only thing that matters in your charity, you got to balance the righteousness and wickedness that comes from the good that you're doing. All right. If more wickedness comes than righteousness, you just subtract it from your grade and the grade of the people you've been given to. That judgment is against you. If your charity is promoting dependence upon you, that judgment is on you. And you're taken away from your grade. See this? Makes sense, don't it? Look at this. A rich man founded a place of labor for the poor who had nothing to eat nor where to sleep. And he said to them, the Creator has given you hands to work with. Come, be men and women. And they went and worked and earned their living. Judgment is rendered in favor of that man. You see that? Judgment is rendered in favor of that man, for he raised the spiritual grade of the poor. This is the beneficence that extends into heaven. So we need to be producing programs that enhance the skills of our brothers and sisters. Right? Enhance their skills like trade and all that. That way they're not dependent on you, and they have the skill they need to feed their families and themselves. And because of that, that brother got a judgment of favor. Right? And in doing that, you're raising the spiritual grade of the poor. True charity is not just feeding somebody, it's showing them how to feed themselves. That's what the true charity is. Right? Y'all remember the old proverb? Right? You rather teach a man to fish, you rather feed a man fish or teach him how to fish. Look at this. And look, knows what it says. This is a beneficence that extends into heaven. Let your charity be to the sick and helpless, but be wise in directing the able-bodied to help themselves. Right? If you're able to help yourselves, you need to get up. You need to get up. You know what I mean? And we need to go ahead and put our heads together and come up with something that you can do. That way you can generate what you need to generate. All right? But we supposed to be helping those who can't get up, those who can't help themselves. You see that? For all charity tends to lower the self-respect of the receiver and cast him lower in the grades in heaven. Certain ones depend on alms, not having either sickness or strong bodies. Nevertheless, if they were aroused, they could support themselves. When you give to them regularly, they depend on you. These become beggars in the lowest grades in heaven. You dig? And I actually know somebody that's like that right now. You know what I mean? And if you're listening, brother, we got to come up with some type of program or put you in some type of schooling where you can develop a trade. It don't make no sense that you've been begging and claiming you've been homeless since 2019, I believe. You know what I mean? And that don't make no sense, bro. Like, what are you out here doing? Right? But it's all good. We here to raise you up. You know, it's something that you can do to develop yourself. Right? So you can rise higher and then help others as you come up. Right? There's always room for redemption. There's always something you can learn to help make yourself better for the whole. That's what Oahspe teaches. All right? When you give to them regularly, they depend on you. These become beggars in the lowest grades in heaven. That which you give them accounts against your own grade. So we got to be circumspect on who we giving something to. Y'all hear that? That which you give them accounts against your own grade. It is better for you and for them if you arouse them from their degradation. Get them up, raise them up, right? Inspire them to raise up. All right. It ain't necessarily all about what you're physically giving them. Right? You may have to come through and give somebody an exhortation, boost their faith. To do this tenderly, look at this. To do this tenderly and mercifully is a great virtue. To do it cruelly is a great crime. So we ain't supposed to be cruelly trying to raise somebody up. Y'all, different methodologies and strategy. You know what I mean? Use mercy tenderly. Look at this. Do not consider so much what you can do to raise your own grade, but what you can do to raise the grade of those within your reach. Wow. Remember, all men and women are your brothers and sisters. Remember, all men and women are your brothers and sisters. And you shall labor to make them make themselves a glory. You shall labor to make them make themselves a glory to the Creator. Bag drop, boy. Bag drop, boy. Oahspe denounces tribal superiority. You think you better than somebody just because you rep a certain tribe or a certain part of this earth. Remember, all men and women are your brothers and sisters. What's wrong with that? You feel that pressure getting up off your shoulder. You ain't even got to convince yourself or anybody listening that you are superior than other men and women. That's a son and daughter of the Creator too. It is. And the only way I can judge if I rock with you or not is to judge the content of your character. All right, now you can do that by feeling what kind of vibration you on. Right? Because you may be on demon time. Can't be around that. Chapter 9, Book of Judgment, chapter 9. All right, y'all get some understanding so far. Give me a 4 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Sister Mahaya said that make perfect sense. Look at Misha in the building. Sabisha created gang. What's the word, love? To them little jokers, I said shalom. See y'all in the building. Bless up. We get understanding. That's what it's about, understanding. All right, and y'all, for this to be a dark, satanic, demonically inspired book, we ain't ran across none of that yet. And I'm here to tell you, you won't. You won't. You know what I mean? Chapter 9, Book of Judgment, Oahspe, Sky Earth Spirit. Remember your Creator and the magnitude of his creations. Before him, you are only an atom, and as only one small creature. Nevertheless, a multitude of people make a nation with cities and hamlets. These are also graded by your God. So individual cities, St. Louis, Detroit, Atlanta, Los Angeles, New York, you know what I mean? Wherever you reside, Do y'all know cities are graded as well? Not just the individual, not just the groups, but even the cities are graded. These are also graded by your God according to the ascendancy or declension of the whole. If a city, then the grades of all the people shall be summed together in a scale of 100. And if a nation, then the grades of all the people of the cities and hamlets, along with the people of isolation, shall be summed together in a scale of 100. And if half the people are above grade 50 and half below 50, the grade of that people shall be 50. If only 1/4 are above grade 50, then the grade of that people shall be 25. Thus, the grades of a city and of a nation shall be on the basis of individual grades. You wonder why certain cities are more dark than others. We start grading these cities like St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, LA, New York, Atlanta. Start grading. Some are more darker than others. Look at this. So, and the grades of the cities and nations are based off your grade, individually speaking. And the behavior of a city or a nation shall be graded in the same way, like an individual. A certain nation built almshouses and asylums sufficient for the needy, but by its tyranny made an equal number of needy ones. That nation did not raise its grade for the good it had done. You heard that? So you may have nations that appear to be doing something good for the whole, but really they're not. Didn't even raise its grade. You heard that? United Snakes of America. Look at this. Another nation built no almshouses, but by its wholesome laws, there were none needed. That nation raised its grade manyfold. You hear this? They ain't build almshouses. You ain't got to come over here and cash. They ain't build treasuries. Had to cash their money in. They just lived by wholesome laws. They didn't need to build almshouses. I mean, everything ran how it was supposed to run. Everybody was living communally, mobilizing the communities and was sharing resources. And guess what? That nation raised its grade manyfold. And yet another nation maintained a standing army, like the United Snakes of America, like China, like Russia. And yet another nation maintained a standing army in order to maintain itself. That nation stood in grade 1 only. Boy, do y'all hear this? If your nation has standing armies, you in grade 1 only. Good night, boy. Good night. Well, not only can you spiritually grade yourself, individuals, groups, cities, you can even do nations. And if your nation got to stand in army in order to maintain itself and to maintain peace, especially like the United Snakes of America, where you at, that nation stood in grade 1 only. United States of America and all these powerhouses, y'all, spiritually speaking, ain't past the first grade in the eyes of the Creator. Wow. Wow. The place of this last nation and entrance into the spirit world shall be grade 1, which is the animal region, which is on the earth. Wow. Whoever dwells in such a land, though he has a good individual grade, shall suffer deduction in the ratio of the grades of different nations of the earth. But whoever dwells in a nation high in grade shall be ascended in his own individual grade. As these grades are on the earth, so have I made them in its heavens. In all cases, depending on what one does for the resurrection of others. If a city, nation, or a kingdom in heaven does to others in resurrection, then it shall be credited accordingly. But if there is no gain in the good, that any of these do, they shall receive no grade. But if they increase and raise in individual grades, then such cities and nations are rising in grade. Consider your nation, O man. Compare one generation with another. And as the relative proportion of individual grades rise or fall, so shall you determine whether your nation is ascending or failing in grade. Ascending of falling in grade. This is what you do. Number is paupers and criminals as to increase or decrease. Is criminal activity increasing or decreasing where you at? Dealing with your nation, dealing with your city, dealing with your block or zone. Is criminal activity increasing or decreasing? Do not consider, and just letting you know how to consider the grade of a city or a nation, right? Number is criminals and paupers, and ask yourself, is it increasing or decreasing? But do not consider its wealth. Fort Knox, ships, armies, or great buildings. These all together are only one grade. Well, look, great architecture like over in Dubai. Great armies like in America and Russia. Great ships like the Navy, the American Navy and the British Navy. These all together are only one grade. What about this, y'all? And are of no value. And are of no value as to the spiritual grade of its people. Ball game, boy. Bag drop. All your great building feats and accomplishments absolutely mean nothing. Means nothing. In determining the grade of a nation. For the strength and life of your nation depend on its spiritual grade. Pursue this course. Pursue this course, and you shall prophesy truly as to the growth or the downfall of a nation. So, Oahspe teaches you how to prophesy. So prophecy ain't nothing that you just look up one day and your head spin around and you get to mumbling a language you don't know nothing about. Prophecy is a tool that you learn. Weren't there schools of prophets in ancient Israel? If it's a school, that's where you go to develop the skill that's innately in you. You gotta learn to develop that more and more. Oahspe even teaches you how to prophesy, not just to read prophecy, how you can prophesy. Can we say benefit? Yeah, we can say benefit. How many of y'all would want to learn how to prophesy with super accurate precision? So accurate you can shoot the dime off somebody's forehead from a mile out. How many of y'all would want to learn that skill? You dig? I know I would. I'd love to learn that. Learn how to prophesy and be spot on. Because prophecy ain't guesswork. It's a tool that's learned and developed. You know what I mean? Over time. All right? Look at this. It says, pursue this course and you shall prophesy truly as to the growth of the downfall of a nation. Pursue this also with regard to the nations of the earth, and you shall determine. And you shall determine the relative place of your own nation in the S world or in the spirit world. Oahspe teaches you how to be a prophet, how to prophesy. Prophecy ain't just something that happened, y'all. Okay? Inspiration ain't just something that happened, right? It's a tool, it's a knowledge that's learned and developed over time. You understand? To where you can start calling it down in individuals, in cities, in neighborhoods, and nations. All of it gets graded as to whether it rise or fall. And those with standing armies, I found that interesting. The nations with the standing armies are graded at grade 1. They in the first grade. You dig? Also like ancient Rome. And they were known for their military might. You dig? Them cats ain't leave the earth. They still hurt. Wow. Wow. What we got over here so far? Benefiting. You excuse me, sir. I think you dropped your bag. Do you have any Grey Poupon, sir? Do you have any Grey Poupon, sir? So Oahspe teaches you how to prophesy. Teaches you how to calculate your grade of not only yourself but also nations. You dig? Definitely a benefit. Definitely a benefit. And how do you grade it? Well, number is criminal activity. Has it increased or decreased? Man, that's cold. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little something. This one I realized Oahspe was cold, right? Cold. I was reading Jeremiah 8:8 in the Bible, and it was talking about the scribes of the pen. I mean, the pen of the scribe and how it scribes in vain. You read in other translations, it says that the teachers, which are the scribes, have interjected into the Torah or the law that you boast about lies, right? Jeremiah is prophesying this, right? Oahspe so cold, it give you the names of the scribes that Jeremiah was talking about. I say bag drop, boy. Bag drop, dang. It actually gives you, it agrees with what Jeremiah says and gives you the names of the scribes. You don't say. Wow. Wow, really? Chapter 10, Book of Judgment. You have any great puns? I believe you dropped your bag. Chapter 10, Book of Judgment. All right. Oahspe, Sky, Earth, Spirit. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. We love y'all too. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. Now, let me share this with y'all real quick too. Let me see something. Let me stop. We're gonna go back there. Let me share that with the fam real quick. Bless up, fam. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. Let me share this with y'all real quick so y'all understand what's happening. All right, let me show y'all something. It's going down. It's going down, baby. Love and light. Love and light. Let me share this real quick. Nah, I gotta go. Bing. La taste. Let me pull this up for y'all. All right, this is what we got going on July 9th. All right, y'all tap in with your brother. Big. And again, y'all, I roll with a organic body of faiths, create a gang, the creator gang. But whatever I'm around, it's never a solo effort. I roll with a squad. You know what I mean? Countless number of brothers and sisters. So this is the last debate over here on the Source Debate League for this tournament. Holy Bible or Oahspe, which one is better for our people? A one-on-one battle, July 9th, 2023, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Of course, you got your brother, yours truly, Malachi Maccabee. And then some brother named Is, who calls himself a Precepticon. All right. Look who we got judging, though. Look at the bottom there, boy. All right. Far left, Priest YAH'KI from the Lions of Israel. Salute, King. Look at the elder. Well, I ain't rap with you in a minute. I ain't know you was going to get out on this one. That's what's up. So we got Priest YAH'KI, the Messianic Israelite, representing the camp Lions of Israel. We got Christina Nick, Pastor Christina Nick. She's actually a pastor. Representing Jesus Christ and Christianity. And then we got our beloved brother Cosmon and Cal P. All right, brother who has read Oahspe, been in Oahspe up and down for the past decade. These are the judges. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one, man. This is gonna be a beautiful. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. Source Debate League. That's next Sunday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah. You know he gonna bring his game face. He done studied the game tapes. It's gonna be quick though. It's gonna be quick. We gonna unhinge that light. Everybody will see it and be like, good night, boy. Good night. All right, let me stop sharing that. Get back to this with y'all. I'll just get back to it, just so y'all know. Y'all like, subscribe, and share. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good one. Y'all know you, bruh. Y'all know me. I'm a, yeah. You did. Now, I feel like the Creator sent me to bust hell wide open and deliver our brothers and sisters. You did. So I'm head first with it. I ain't got a chrome dome for no reason. Head first. You did. Creator's undefeated. Easy work. Let's get back to it. And I challenge any of you slanderous jaw Negroes that's listening, especially you plastic is seen Nazarite guys. You know what I mean? I ain't talking about all my Nazarene brothers. I'm talking about a specific set of cats that's been running their mouth against me and against honor and humility for the past 2 years. You know what I mean? Any of you goofies want to get it, we can get it. We can debate it. We can debate it in front of everybody. What you talking about? Because thus far, all y'all fumigating at the mouth, and now one of y'all, we ain't ran across nothing evil yet and satanic. I called your leader out, NehemiYAH, tell him grow some nuts and step up. Because all he do is run his mouth about something he don't know. And he been running his mouth about me. So I finally said something to him. And guess what he did? Tucked his tail like a chump and ran. Block me and then start throwing videos up on Facebook. But you don't want to deal with nobody that read Oahspe. You block all the men who can really have a meaningful conversation and clear this thing up. So I ain't talking about all my Nazarene brothers. I'm talking about that goofy ass nigga, that cat Enoch that used to roll with him, or he may still roll with him. They mama that run her mouth. Any of y'all that got a problem, we'll be talking about. Your fingers ain't broke. Jump in the ring. We discuss a topic, and we'll see if Oahspe is lacking in light over what you gonna bring out. Easy work. And most of y'all ain't cut like that or built for none of that. Because if you was, guess what? You would have at least reached out to have a conversation with one of us. Or if you really was built like that and you had read Oahspe, guess what you would have said? You would have did. You'd be like, no, I'm not finna debate that. It's too much light coming from that. So when I finally called him to the flow, because he been running his mouth, then all his little students, oh, that's not humble. Oh, you're teasing me. Grown ass men talking about they getting teased. I don't know what kind of cloth you men are cut from, but it's sounding real feminine. You've been running your mouth, Jack, for the past couple of years, and I ain't even hit your top. I don't let you skate around. I don't let you ice skate, because you ain't in my lane anyway. You dig? But when you get to running your mouth like we on something satanic and evil, I'm going to call you to the flow. Let that skip across my plate again. Let your little goofy dry video skip across my plate again, Jack. I'm going to call you on it. When some real war popped off 2 years ago, you niggas went inside, man. You went inside. Y'all started laughing at us. Huh? And in some cases, start firing shots. Well, squirting water pistols. You ain't firing no shots. You was better off spitting on the elephant. Now I finally call you to the floor and niggas get offended. I ain't trying to hear none of it. You a wolf or you crying wolf. Everybody scared. Everybody nervous. If what we talking about is a Dr. Seuss book, then what everybody fumigating at the mouth for? What everybody all mad for? After all, it's just the devil's book that's a Dr. Seuss book. A dentist put it together. It shouldn't have no merit or authority. But the fact y'all acting the way y'all acting proves Oahspe is shining bright out here. So every once in a while, when I finally call somebody that's been hostile toward us, when I finally call you on your wickedness, when I finally call you, because I know you, I've been known you ain't built for none of this. You are your little boyfriend, Enoch. I've been known he ain't built for it either. And I ain't did nothing but feed that little joker. I ain't did nothing but feed him, pulled up, threw him in the whip, took him to get something to eat. But I just learned you got to be careful who you doing charity for. That may have taken away from my grade. Y'all ain't ready for none of this, man. None of y'all are. None of y'all are. You swimming with sharks, right? And y'all guppies. Guppies don't swim with sharks. And anybody that's been tracking the situation for the past 2 years know I've been more than patient with that cat. I've been more than patient with them. You dig? Y'all in y'all own lane, whatever. I ain't tripping that y'all call yourselves Essenes and Nazarites. Oh, we ain't Nazarenes because Malaki and them. I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. I rock how I rock. You dig? But I knew what damn one of y'all solid, because when it jumped off, you went inside. You went inside. Ah, yeah, they ain't built for that. Creator told me that they ain't even cut from the cloth you cut from. I knew it then. Y'all ain't talking about nothing, right? Y'all not talking about nothing. Believe that. And I know you cats, right? Right after that, we drop 110 Nazarene editions. That one cat texting NehemiYAH calling me a snake. Nigga, I ain't never did nothing to you, boy. You better hope I don't go across your jaw next time I see you. I ain't did nothing to you but feed you. I ain't did nothing to you but pull you out the streets when you was out here robbing grocery stores. You was a little joker when I pulled you out the streets. Saved your life, put you on game with the Bible, taught you was an Israelite. Let me keep moving, boy. Look, don't make me come. Look, don't make me get on you cats. Because I know you cats. And I know ain't none of y'all about that life. None of y'all about that life. And your students saw me call you out the other day, boy, before you got there erasing comments and blocking me. They saw it. They saw it. So don't get mad at me because I finally draw down on this cat. He been running his mouth about me 2 years. Him and his little cronies. Him and his little band of misfits. So finally, the other day I drew down on him. What's up? We can debate Oahspe versus the Holy Bible, which one has more evil in it. And whoever's wrong can't teach no more. I put a wager on the line on this nigga. No, fam, I'm okay. You can have the dark spirits. You ain't read nothing dark yet. You a coward, Jack. You ain't built for that. All right? Come holler at Creator Gang. We'll build you up. We'll get you together. You dig? But we got to destroy that superstitious mindset you got, boy. You got the mind of a baby. The boy's a baby. What a sippy cups. The boy's a baby. Get back to this. I can hear you slanderous jaw Negro nuts. You Mally, man, you got to stay humble. And all that. I ain't said nothing to this cat for 2 years. I watched him run his mouth. I watched him get offended at words like chakra and crystal. I watched these millie mouth Negroes get offended because I trim my whiskers. What kind of gay niggas is y'all? You niggas soft. How about that? How about that? Can hear you now. That ain't up to spirit. Shut up. Niggas don't know what you talking about. Because ain't none of y'all characters solid. None of them. Book of Judgment, chapter 10. Let's get back to it. Get me amped in her, boy. I know you cats. And I know ain't none of y'all built for none of the stuff y'all talking. All right. You better hope I don't do something to decrease my grade when I see you, boy. Because I ain't did nothing but do something that was right. Book of Judgment, chapter 10. And nigga, you know I ain't lying. I'm outside. Chapter 10, Book of Judgment. You are remembered, old man, by your God. You are remembered, old man, by your God, and admonished and instructed for your soul's sake, so that you may become a glory to your Creator and to yourself. Hear then your responsibility and its extent, and consider the magnitude of your own grade on earth and in heaven, which is in proportion to the power and distance of your reach. Of which I have also graded all men on earth and in heaven. Look at this. Which is in proportion to the power and distance of your reach, of which I have also, I read it already. If your Creator gives you strength to carry 4 men on your back, and you will carry only one, you shall be 1/4 grade, 25. But if you carry the whole 4, you shall be full grade. One man has the means to feed one man, another has enough for 1,000, and another for 100,000. These are the distances of the reach and power of these men, which is the extent beyond which nothing more can be exacted of them on earth or in heaven. Right. Every man got a measure of faith or skill. Look at this. Yet when they have all fulfilled these to the utmost, they shall be in this only equal in grade. Right. So just because your reach is longer than mine, don't mean you got a spiritual grade higher than mine. It's all based on the capability of your reach. Look at the liberty. Look at the liberty. You know what I mean? Look at the greatness of the Creator. Look at this. So just because somebody may be at an economic advantage over you, don't mean they're graded higher than you. It's all based off your capability and how far you can reach. So this doesn't even produce competitors. It's all based off your capability. It's just are you gonna do good with what you got? That's all it comes down to. You gonna do good with what you got? You're gonna be righteous, you're gonna use that to help others raise up. That's what it's all about, man. Shout out to my brother Essene Nazarene Faithers. Yeah, bro. Cats is clown. Shout out to my brother Eliyahu Casey. Them brothers know they ain't been around. They know I ain't lying. So when I finally say something, you know what I mean? Not everybody offended. I ain't trying to hear none of it. You dig? If what we saying is so satanic, look, let your nuts drag, YAHWH. It be a night, YAHWH. Let your nuts drag, boy, and debate it. I'll call you to the floor. Let your nuts drag and debate if Oahspe is evil or not. And whoever wrong, fam, like you say, can't teach a class no more. How about that? How about that? Because I know you running your mouth about something you don't know. You ain't read this. We have. Look at this. But if they fail in their parts, the responsibility of one shall be 100,000, and another shall be 1,000, and the least shall be only one. These are the debts men owe the people of the nation, the city, and the hamlet. Consider therefore the darkness of the people of your nation, the poverty and the crime, and judge yourself as to your own responsibility. And this rule shall apply both on earth and in heaven. And your grade of responsibility in heaven shall begin even in the same place you established it on the earth. Where you were short, you shall labor. Where you did fulfill, you shall rejoice and be without compunctions. This rule shall also apply to the king, queen, emperor, and all rulers who have means and power. And the responsibility shall extend to all the people of the kingdom or empire. So we are responsible for either the rise or the degradation of not only ourselves and our organizations, but even our cities, our states, our countries. Faiths are supposed to change the world. We have the blueprint. You know how to grade a thing. You know how to proactively raise the grade of a dark, low-hanging fruit spirit or mortal. It's our responsibility. It ain't good enough to complain. You know what I mean? Look at this. And the responsibility shall extend to all the people of the kingdom or empire. Nor shall this responsibility be escaped by death. But the bondage in heaven shall be according to the avoidance of the trust imposed. Yeah. You don't cross over and lose the responsibility you have. You still are held to the same system and order you were held to in the earth. You see how easy we explaining this? You see how easy this is to understand? It's easy. Y'all, this is not Chinese arithmetic. This ain't calculus. This ain't none of that. It's real easy. Right? And it was a beautiful thing, man, reading this and understanding. Like, oh, okay. Man, the creator code, he got a system in order set up that you can understand because you've been graded your whole life. You've been through school and had to graduate your whole life. Even if you start a new job, you got to start orientation and training. You got to get graded and then you got to get set free. Life is training and freedom. Your entire life is like that. Training, freedom. Training wheels, no training wheels. Look at this. Consider then what you shall be encumbered with in the spirit world. Pursue this philosophy, and you shall determine what the labor of the king shall be, and of the queen, and the great ruler after they have died and entered the S world. So if you understand, and we can tell you what Queen Elizabeth is doing right now. I'm gonna tell you something. You don't want to be no commander, no general, no captain, no king, queen, none of that. You know all your subjects, you are bound to you. You are bound to them when you cross over. Especially if you wasn't teaching the right philosophy and the right doctrine according to the creator. You got to correct all that. Hell no, I ain't nobody's leader. I'm cool. Nah. You still, trip off this. You still owe that to the board. You rule millions. Whew. Good night. Find the grade of their respective dominions, and you shall determine by its ascension the duration of their bondage in the first resurrection. Whether it is 50 years or 500 years, you can properly prophesy about those who have crossed over now. You know. Even down to how many years they're going to be stuck in the first resurrection. Look at this. But if the emperor's dominions are in declension instead of resurrection, then on his entrance into the heaven, he shall be at the mercy of the spirits of his kingdom. You heard this? Huh? These wicked rulers and all that out there. Hitler, Mao Tse-tung, Stalin. But if the emperor's dominions are in a decline instead of an incline, then on his entrance into heaven, he shall be at the mercy of the spirits of his kingdom, who shall be waiting for him, and he shall not escape them. You see, God ain't punishing Hitler. God ain't punishing Stalin or Mao Tse-tung and what's the boy named Castro or any so-called emperor out there. No, their subjects are punishing them once they cross over. Saddam Hussein and them, their subjects are waiting on you, Jack. So you don't get away with nothing. You got to pay that back to the board. You owe the board either in this life or the next. Look who waiting for the so-called tyrants. Look who waiting for the so-called dictator. Look who waiting for the king and the queen and all these so-called generals and captains and leaders. Your subjects are waiting on you. And you're going to be at their mercy. Can you imagine, right? And you've been terrorizing them all these years, decades terrorizing them. Can you imagine now the leader of IUIC crossover and all them IUIC soldiers and officers waiting on you, boy, your bishops and deacons, because you were teaching them the wrong doctrine? Is not the doctrine of the Creator, it's the doctrine of a false God. And you're gonna be at their mercy. And then after all that's calmed down, you still gotta work and labor to give them the right doctrine. You gotta feed them spiritually the right nourishment, so they can raise their spiritual grade and resurrect. And you ain't going nowhere till the lowest of them has resurrected and raised up past you. Then you get to raise up. Yeah. Being a leader is bondage. Being a king or queen is bondage when you cross over, Jack. Being a dictator is bondage when you cross over. Because your kingdom waiting on you. And you're going to be at their mercy. One creator's fair and just. And that goes for anybody that's ever killed anybody. Right? You can imagine them world dictators, they didn't kill millions. Slave waiting on you, boy. All the indigenous folk you done raped and colonized and murdered and exploited their resources. When you cross over, slave master. When you cross over, colonizer. Guess who waiting on you? You're going to be at their mercy. Now, when they finally tired of long stomping you and tormenting you, then guess what? You receive your judgment. Your judgment is going to be the labor to raise their spiritual grade. Because until the lowest of them is raised up past you, and you can call them brother and sister, slave master, till you can call your slaves brother and sister and raise their spiritual grade so they can be efficient enough to ascend, guess what? You ain't going nowhere. You bound to the earth. And you really think we get the worst end of slavery, huh? Ooh, some other heavenly kingdom shall deliver them. Otherwise, they fall into anarchy and madness, which is hell. Read it again. But if the emperor's dominions are in a decline instead of resurrection, then on his entrance into heaven, he shall be at the mercy of the spirits of his kingdom, who shall be waiting for him. He shall not escape them. Some other heavenly kingdom shall deliver them. Otherwise, they fall into anarchy, madness, and hell. Ooh-wee. You learned it today. We cooking with the vortex. Right on to my brother MELCHIZEDEK. Right on for the support and prayers, my brother. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Yeah, we cooking with the vortex today, boy. That's right, Yafa. Must turn around and go the opposite way to go higher. We cooking with the vortex today, baby. Believe that, know that. All right, you learning how to grade yourself, others, groups, cities, nations, all of that. And you learning what mindset to stay away from. And you learning that all charity ain't good charity, because certain things you give away can do what? Take away from your spiritual grade. Say you give somebody something, but they use that to do evil, right? That lowers his grade, your grade, and that's a judgment rendered against you. right? You got to be proactive. You got to understand what's really going on here. All right, Judgment, Book of Judgment, chapter 11. Oahspe, Sky, Earth, Spirit, and to you slanderous jaw Negroes who still making Facebook videos, we still ain't heard nothing either. We still ain't heard nothing satanic. No seances to Satan. No seances to Lucifer. Huh? No, ain't no blood sacrificing. No voodoo rituals. What a darkness is. Could it possibly be you don't understand what this is? And the God you dealing with know is about to get exposed. So hit dogs holler. You start crying. Look at this. Remember your creator and the comprehension of his kingdoms, and consider the words of your God. All men profess to desire resurrection. They hope to ascend to exalted heavenly spheres. Spheres. Spheres in heaven. Huh? Another topic, but I found it interesting. Yet many will not even try to exalt themselves. He says in one breath, to not eat the flesh of anything created alive is the highest. But immediately he fills his belly with flesh. He says to return good for evil is the highest, but he does evil even before the sound of his voice is hushed. And yet he will find fault with his creator. If holy angels do not promise him a high seat in heaven. Wow. And there are others who constantly profess to have the higher light, but they go about tattling and making evil remarks about their neighbors. Yeah, Ebe at night, NehemiYAH. Huh? Oahspe exposing you, Jack. And there are others who constantly profess to have the higher light, but they go about tattling and making evil remarks about their neighbors. Yet many of these do good to others, giving to the helpless. Truly, they are both rising and falling in regard to the resurrection. Wow. The measure of the grade of such a person shall be by weighing the whole behavior as to its result in the community where he abides. And this rule shall apply both on earth and in heaven to all such people. There are men who do great good to others and are talented as well, but who are great liars. There it is. And much prone to exaggeration, so that their good works are outbalanced by the shame of their tongues. Yeah, you may be doing good work, but you over there lying on us, Jack. And exaggerating, which is a form of lying. Why are you lying and exaggerating or trying to manipulate my mindset concerning the situation? You're a liar. You ain't even read this. You read a word like revelation and lose your mind, blow all your draws out. So all the good you doing is unbalanced by the shame of your tongue, Jack. You're lying on us. The grade of resurrection of such people shall be modified or benefited only a little by their good works. But they shall be weighed as to their evil habit, whether it is increasing or decreasing. And the grade of such men shall be accordingly and shall come under the rank of spiritual disease. You hear what you got, Ebe at night, NehemiYAH? You're sick, boy. That's why we're here to bring medicine to you. We're here to deliver you out of the hells of your mind. Boy, you probably was scared of the boogeyman growing up, wasn't you? Probably had to sleep with a nightlight on, sleep up under your covers with a flashlight. Come on, bro. You look. According to this, you spiritually sick, spiritual disease, because it will be entailed upon them into the spirit world, and such them out from the grade, and shut them out from the grade which they manifested. When you search for the grade of a city, all such persons shall therefore stand as grade 1. All such persons shall stand as grade 1. That's why I can call you a sippy cup brew, NehemiYAH. You a sippy cup brew, Jack. You in the first grade. You still got your name badge on going to school. There are some who say, I do not care for the spiritual man or the S worlds. One world at a time is enough for me. And they may be good as to the way of the city, contributing alms to the helpless and visiting the sick. Nevertheless, they utter truthfully their own resurrection, which shall stand grade 1. You a sippy cup brew, Jack. If you in the first grade. Look at this. This is no crime in them, but an unfortunate imbecility of spirit. Boy, so you got an imbecile spirit, man. Ain't no crime, but you spiritually sick. You got the spirit of an imbecile. Wow. When such persons die, their knowledge for the most part dies with them, and they enter the spirit world even as if they had died in infancy. That's what we're trying to get you to see, EB and Night NehemiYAH. Understand? Sippy cup brew. Level up. They shall stand grade 1 because owing to their weakness of spirit, they need to be habited on the earth for many years. There are others who are forever talking about heaven and consulting the spirits of the dead, who are nevertheless low as the good works and low in holiness of heart. These shall be graded the same as liars and hypocrites. For in prophecy, this is calculations, you shall estimate the sum of all the virtues. Oh, Oahspe cold, boy. Teach you how to prophesy and everything. Stop it. For in prophecy, you shall estimate the sum of all the virtues and vices of yourself, your neighbor, and of the whole city or state or even the world, and accredit the grade in ascension or declension. And you shall compare one generation with another as to the increase or decrease of his spirituality. And you shall know in truth the standing of the whole world. Y'all see how cold Oahspe is? See how cold? It's straight teaching you how to prophesy by being objective, by measuring and recording what it is that you observe. You can successfully prophesy not only your grade, but the grade of your community, your family, your city, your state, your nation, and even the whole world. What you mean, which one is a benefit, which one is better. How many of you all knew that you could learn to prophesy and that Oahspe teaches that? What's wrong with that? Look at this. And from this, you shall also determine the time. Oh, I can tell you the time now too. I can tell you what time we in without checking the watch. Look at this. And from this, you shall also determine the time when man came on the earth. If I ask you to show me chapter and verse, what's the time period when man came on the earth? Put a date on it. Put a year on it. You ain't got to give me the actual down to the date. Put a year on it. Don't roughly tell me anything. You say, well, brother, we don't know that. Why? If I ask you what year it is, right now, you're going to spit out your mouth 2023. So ask yourself, why hasn't your God made you aware of the time you are in? What year is it? You should be able to tell me the time when man came on the earth. How many thousands of years ago? Could it be that a false God doesn't know? Look at this. And from this, you shall also determine the time when man came on the earth, how long the race will survive and bring forth, and the time he shall become extinct as to the earth. Because man has a total of 144,000 years to be on this earth. We actually at the halfway point right now. What's half of 144,000? 72,000? 72,000 years since mortals were created on this earth. This dispensation of time. Good night, boy. Right? You can't even do that if I ask you to do it anywhere else. All right. So we're showing you benefits of Oahspe. We're showing you, you understand, the higher light and what it is. If you're getting some understanding so far, give me a 4 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up, bless up. You know what I mean? Bless up, bless up, bless up. All praises, glory, and honor. All praises, all glory, and honor. Y'all help Kaya Ben Yehud out. He want to know about the book. Help him on that. Yeah, that's right. Bing, bing, bing. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 baby. So we're getting understanding. All right, we're getting understanding. All right, we're probably going to do one more chapter. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat for anybody that want to come on and chop it up a little taste. Man, this deal is marvelous. I'm trying to tell you. We've been running right around 3 hours. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give it these short letters real quick. I see 4s in the chat. Shout out to TT Ursh in the building. Bless up, TT Ursh. I know you enjoying reading Oahspe, sis. You know what I mean? You always had a free spirit anyway. You know what I mean? I always had a yearning, a thirst for more light, more understanding. You know what I mean? Shout out to my sister Amana, TT Ursh in the building. Bless up, bless up. My sister Aubrey Yah in the building. Shalom, Queen. Bless up, bless up, bless up. All right, let's get it. Chapter 12. Oh man, remember your creator and praise him. In this you are graded by your God. Remember, creator, praise creator, man. Those who do not see him are weak in spirit. Those who do not see him are weak in spirit. Those who see him in all things and hear his voice in the leaves and in every herb and in every herb are strong in spirit. Bag drop, boy. Hold on, good. Y'all hear the creator in the herb? Yeah, the healing properties of the herbs is liberated vortexia. It's liberated vortexia, you know what I mean? That's the energy that comes out of the herb. It's freed up vortexian current that leads to the balancing of your body or the healing of your body, you know what I mean? But that deal right there said, hear him, look at it, it says, those who do not see him are weak in spirit. Those who see him in all things and hear his voice in the leaves and in every herb are strong in spirit. These are the grades of the resurrection of the souls of men. For what is the earth other than a foaling nest, and the possessions of the earth other than chains of bondage? My heavens rest upon the earth, the place of the Essene. The Essene is in my keeping. Essene, you dig? That's your title when you cross over as a newborn spirit. Essene. Found that very interesting when I first read this. I say, dang, the title of a newborn spirit that crossed over in full faith of the creator is an Essene. I say, wow. So when I start reading stuff like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm hooked. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. My heavens rest upon the earth, and the place of the Essene is in my keeping. And I have adjusted the places of the grades of my heavens according to their inhabitants. I people the heavens of the earth with the spirits of the dead. According to their grade in their physical lives, so do I arrange them. I heard this? To provide for their everlasting resurrection and make them rejoice in their being. These are the labors of your God. Y'all heard this? I heard this. Your God is your brother. You see what he doing? You see this? I people the heavens of the earth with the spirits of the dead according to their grade in their physical lives, so do I arrange them. To provide for their everlasting resurrection and make them rejoice in their being. These are the labors of your God. God is to provide for your everlasting resurrection and for you to have joy and rejoice. All right, remember, God is the son of the creator. For the beasts of the field and the birds and fowls of the earth, and for many animals that are companions to man, I made a place in heaven where their spirits could survive for a season. And this animal heaven, I graded one in the order of my heavens. Yeah. So there is an animal heaven for the animals, but it's attached to the earth. It's bound to the earth. All right. For I saw that man on the earth had delight in them. And I provided for him in his Essene period, so that he might rejoice in the remembrance of finding his loves. Straight up. And I made the animal heaven rest on the face of the lands of the earth, the same as the place of the Essene in grade 1. Remember, O man, your creator. Remember, O man, your creator gave to every animal a season on the earth, but he limited them to a time to become extinct. Even so, and of like duration, I made a heavenly period for the spirits of animals companionable to man. But for man, I provided heavens above where he shall rise as to place, even as he rises in goodness and knowledge. Magnify your perception, O man, so you may comprehend the kingdoms of your God. Magnify your perception. Extend your perception. Change up your perception, O man, so you may comprehend, so you may understand the kingdoms of your God. Consider the example your creator set before you in the design of the earth. In large bodies, he placed the lands. In large bodies, he placed the oceans, not in little hillocks of land and little puddles of water. Even larger than these are the plateaus of the heavens of your God. These plateaus are divided into separate heavens by atmospheric oceans. Do y'all hear this? What is really going on here? What is evil that we're reading? Please tell me. Let me pull up a picture of the atmosphere so you can kind of get an understanding. All right, picture of the layers of the atmosphere. Let's look at it. Real time, objectivity. Ain't nothing spooky about what we talking about. In real time. All right, for y'all that don't know, the Earth has layers, plateaus, or the atmosphere, layers to it. Different plateaus. I like this one because it shows you, even if you're on a plane, you know what I mean, what layer you in. All right, so let me go ahead and bang so you can understand. Oahspe is in real time, Jack. Oahspe handles up in real time. We in chapter 12, verse 16. Read again. Even larger than these are the plateaus of the heavens of your God. These plateaus are divided into separate heavens by atmospheric oceans. I do not fill the air of the firmament with angels scattered about, but I give them regions habitable and home-like. And I grade the regions as to how suitable they are to the resurrection of the spirits of the dead. Let's look at these plateaus real quick. Let's look at these plateaus. Easy work. Let's look at it. We're dealing with high science over here. We're connecting science with spirituality. You know what I mean? We're connecting science or creation with its creator. How about that? All right. Let me know if y'all can see that. Y'all see this? Some of the brothers believe the earth flat and all that. That's another topic. Like I got some brothers that's cold in cosmogony that will call you on that. And we can do it in front of everybody just to get an understanding. All right, so this right here is the atmosphere, or Oahspe calls it atmosphere. Okay, now the troposphere, right here where you see this plane at. All right, y'all, it's just 31 between 16 miles and 31 miles up. Planes fly there. Right, planes ain't all the way up in the exosphere, in the thermosphere, in the mesosphere, or the stratosphere, or beyond the ozone layer. Right, planes are flying 31 miles up. That's what Oahspe talks about. Before these things were even named and discovered in 1881, Oahspe is talking about the different atmospheric plateaus, or what you know is different levels of the atmosphere. Right, science just started naming all this, y'all. Right, when this thing was inspired to be revealed, it was already in Oahspe about the plateaus. Right, all these are different plateaus: troposphere, ozone layer, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere. Right, satellites all the way up 372 miles up, exosphere. See that? And then when you get all the way up out of the atmosphere and its layers, now you're dealing with the emancipated heavens. Space. All right. Should make sense. Let me see right here. It's another good one. Different layers. So we read about the information and then we go point it out in real time. No. Layers of the Earth's atmosphere. All right, so there are heavenly kingdoms set up on these different plateaus. All right, and depending on your spiritual grade, you advance higher and higher. Right, in that resurrection time, the angels of the Creator, the gods and goddesses, sons and daughters of the Creator, your brothers and sisters, who you don't pray to or worship, they are sent by the Creator to gather those who have raised their grade high enough to experience etheria, which is outside of this last line right here. The emancipated heavens. See how we can make that make sense? See that? Make it make sense. We ain't, we read it and then we go show it. But what was revealed in Oahspe, modern science is agreeing with it. Oahspe came out in 1881. Somebody help. Somebody post up in there. Who is that? Akaya admins, help the brother out. He's looking for it. Go ahead and post the website he can go to, whatever, where the brother can check it out for himself. You know what I mean? But y'all see that though? These are the different plateaus of the atmosphere. Within the atmosphere, you got the earth and what's bound to the earth, and then upper. And within these different plateaus are heavenly kingdoms. All right, the kingdoms of the false gods ain't got to pass the second resurrection though. So as you get higher and higher, they not even all the way up here. They here and down, bound to the earth. All right. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. All right, so let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's go show. All right, we just showed the plateaus. Now you know those are different layers of the atmosphere. Okay. Let's get back to what we was reading. Oahspe, Sky Earth Spirit. All right, Book of Judgment, chapter 12 and 16. Even larger than these are the plateaus of the heavens of your God. These plateaus are divided into separate heavens by atmospheric oceans. We just saw that, didn't we? I do not fill the air of the firmament with angels scattered about, but I give them regions. But I give them regions habitable and home-like. And I grade the regions as to how suitable they are to the resurrection of the spirits of the dead. Consider the work of your Creator and the knowledge and symbols he places before you. You hold up a lump of salt, and it is solid and has dimensions, but cast it into water, and it is not seen, but dissolved and lost to your perception. And you see the earth, which has dimensions also, but the ether you do not see. As water is the solvent to salt, so is ether the solvent to corporeal things. So just like you right now, you can go get you a glass of water and take salt, right? And dump the salt into the water. The water is stronger than the salt. The water is going to dissolve the salt. All right. So the water is a solvent of the salt. All right. Ether is a solvent to physical things. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Right. And it's crazy because science start calling it dark matter. Or the stuff that make up space, the in-between, like what's in between, the substance that's in between a physical world and another physical world. Or dark matter, like science try to call it. Y'all ain't nothing but ether. It's ether. All right. Space substance, ether. And Creator puts a spin, a rotary motion or a spin on the ether. You know what I mean? And that's how worlds are formed. All right. Space substance. And you see the earth, which has dimensions also, but the ether you do not see. As water is a solvent to salt, so is ether the solvent to corporeal things. The solid earth holds its form by slow velocity. Yet in ether, external to the body of the earth, the swift velocity of corpor is magnified into dissolution. These things are accomplished by vortices in ether, or the vortex. That boy cooking with the vortex. Right, that's what CERN trying to get a hold of or crack open. Dark matter, but it's just ether. You know what I mean? It's the substance, some of the substance that the Creator uses to create worlds. You know what I mean? But if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to destroy yourself. Look at this. In the atmosphere of the earth, which I just showed, behold, there is sufficient corpor or physical material to make many worlds. It's just in our atmosphere. Right? You got just as much substance of gold on the earth as you do in the atmosphere. It's just in this gaseous state. You know what I mean? In the atmosphere of the earth, behold, there is sufficient corpor, sufficient physical substance to make many worlds like this habitable earth. Just in our atmosphere, y'all. And this corpor, which is in solution, and so unseen by corporeal eyes, floats in the firmament of the earth, forming strata, plateaus, or atmospheric levels, in continents wide as the earth, forming strata, plateaus, and continents wide as the earth and deep as the earth. And there are thousands of them. Wow. And yet, oh man, these are only the atmospheric heavens. He said you got enough substance above your head in the atmosphere, y'all. Huh? To make many habitable worlds. Many worlds that can be lived in and sustain human life. Just right above your head. Wow. Wow. And yet, oh man, these are only the atmospherian heavens. These are the dominions given into the keeping of your God. These are my kingdoms and my heavens for a season. As you, oh man, on the earth, sail your ships abroad over the ocean and come into a new land, go ashore and settle your people on it. And it becomes a new kingdom. So likewise does your God accomplish in the heavens of the earth, in the plateaus of this vortex I just showed you, the atmospherian levels. We remember the magnitude of your creator's works and the symbols he sets before you. Where the clouds float high, it does not rain. Where they drag on the face of the earth, it rains daily. Say, remember creation. Remember the works and symbols of the creator so you can better prophesy. Call these things down. Consider the habitations of the resurrections of the dead, which are in the keeping of your God. Even as to the square of the distance away from the earth, so are the grades of my resurrections. According to the exaltation of man's soul, so shall he inhabit the places I have made. According to his own soul's growth and development. According to his own soul's growth and development, GD. According to his own soul's growth and development, so shall he ascend into my kingdom. Outward away from the earth. Outward away from the earth. From grade to grade, I adapted them. Bag drop, boy. Bag drop, boy. No spiritual grade and rate part 2. You know what I mean? I might just go ahead and do this chapter 13 too, and then get on about it is. I do 13 too. Got a little time. 13 deep too. That'd be a roll. We finna roll through it. That deal deep. Look at it. That deal 40-some verses. Let's roll through it. We'll call it quits after that. Let me see. How long we been on here? Okay, yeah, we cool. Let's go ahead and grow. Y'all getting some understanding up in the chat. Give me an 8 up in the chat if y'all getting up some understanding. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Big homie NehemiYAH in the building. Bless up. Yeah, Akaya, NehemiYAH, one of the admins, he dropped a link to the book in the chat. All you gotta do is click on that. You can order the book off that site too. All right, we get an understanding. Have you heard anything evil or satanic? Have you heard anything evil or satanic thus far? And we've read from chapter 5 of the book of Judgment. Now we in chapter 13. So we've read 7 chapters. Surely we should have ran across something evil and demonic. If you heard anything wicked, satanic, sadistic, demonic, all right, something that jeopardizes your salvation or whatever somebody would say, put a 1 up in the chat. And if so, type in was evil. If you haven't heard anything evil, demonic, sadistic, put a 2 up in the chat. All right, 2 up in the chat. If you heard something that resonates with your spirit, like, dang, that's tight, put a 2 up in the chat. Put a 1 up in the chat if you heard something evil. All right, let's go ahead and run this last one. Go ahead and run this last one. All right. Oh, snap. Boys, I need to watch the Lifetime channel. Oh, man. Yeah, NehemiYAH, he got scared about the atmosphere. Yeah, big homie. Yeah, we know Shebrew faith is all good, man. Rise in power, Shebrew. Rise in power. You understand? You don't say rest in peace. Rise in power, onward and upward forever. NehemiYAH said he's scared. I got scared of the atmosphere. Big. I'll be showing you in real time how to deal with this, man. That's it. That's it. Let's get on to chapter 13. It's chapter 13. Hard body, man. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Bless up. Y'all know who I ain't heard from in a while though. We can check on them. I ain't heard from my brother Madeen and my sister Nava Grace. I just tripped off that. I ain't heard from them or seen them in like none of the chats or none of that. Y'all check on them, make sure they all good. You know what I mean? That's one thing about She Brew passing. Like she went quiet, and ain't none of us know what was going on. May the Creator continue to bless her on her journey. She knows the system in order. She knows the ranks. She knows what she need to do to raise her grade. All of it. All right. No doubt. Okay, we all good. All right. Let's get it done. Chapter 13, Judgment. Oh man, to know the creations of your Creator and things he has placed in your reach, to apply your knowledge and understand with reverence the work of his hand. How considerate he is of your little wisdom and your love of liberty, which he gave to you. Even before he had perfected you, he called out to you to behold his creations. And you did not pause to learn, but ran away, half completed, half cocked, to vent the exuberance of your soul, which he gave to you. Behold me, your God. Behold me, your God. I am your elder brother, whom he, the Creator, sent after you. Come and learn wisdom from your God. That's powerful, man. God is your brother. The Creator is your father. Clarity. Another benefit of Oahspe is clarity. And if God is your brother, you can't worship God because that's worshiping a man. Clarity. See that? Clarity. Behold me, your God, a true God. A false God wants your worship. A true God wants your brotherhood. Behold me, your God. I am your elder brother whom he sent after you. Come and learn. Come and learn wisdom from your God. You linger in the grade. You linger in the grade. You are not aroused to know your Creator. You turn your back on me and say, behold, there is no God. I beseech you, turn about and hear the wisdom of my words. I would teach you to know your Creator. See, we ain't talking about a belief here, y'all. We talking about to know. I would teach you to know your Creator, to hear his voice, and to see his hand. Why wouldn't that be beneficial? How many of us really want to know our Creator, really want to hear Creator's voice, and to see his hand move in our lives? How many of us want to know that? See, these are skills. This is a skill that is learned, right? Given to you by the angel ambassadors of the Creator. Look at this. And you shall rejoice in your life and teach your brethren to rejoice also. You have a physical body, corporeal body, and a spiritual body. Hear me, and I will open your understanding. Your spirit has eyes, ears, and judgment. Your spirit has eyes, ears, and judgment. Nevertheless, the beginnings of your two parts were at the same time quickened into one person because of the presence of your Creator. O man of the earth, O man of the earth, if only your spirit and your corporate stood even in wisdom and power all the days of your life. But you are so delighted in the earth that you have left your spirit unfed, and it stands within you like a spear of grass covered with a stone. And you do not see spiritual things, nor hear the unseen, for a stone lies upon your soul. Yet you have great learning as to corporeal knowledge, and great vigor as to corporeal judgment. And you rate your neighbor a fool, because in fact, in contradistinction to you, he hears and sees spiritually. See that? And your God weeps for you, because at the time of your death, you shall stand in heaven in grade 1, even as the spirits of the beasts of the field. Bad drop, boy. You going to kindergarten, grade 1, with the sticky name badge on your chest. You think this is pseudoism? You think spirituality is false? God, the Son of the Creator, weeps for you. You cross over, you're going to stand in heaven in grade 1, even as the spirits of the beasts of the field. Your present knowledge shall be void, and your vigor only like that of a newborn child. And my angels who are wise and strong shall take you about in Haydah, the heavenly plateaus that rest on the earth, and divert you with things approximating between the two worlds, so that you may be made to comprehend yourself and your Creator's work. As your corporate was fed on corporeal substances, so then your young spirit shall be fed on atmospheric substances, which your guardian shall provide to you. So when you cross over until you're able to sustain yourself, you're going to be feeding on the atmospheric or the gases, vapors of whatever it is you used to. You understand? So yeah, with us, the fruits and the veggies and the grains, yeah, that's the vapor we're going to be feeding on. Our spiritual body feeds on the vapor that comes off of physical food. Easy to understand. But if you're a flesh eater, that means you're going to eat where the slaughterhouses are. Your spirit is going to be bound to the smell of dead flesh, blood, and fat. So then your young spirit shall be fed on atmospheric substances, which your guardian shall provide to you. Consider the wisdom of your Creator who sent me to fetch you into places of delight. Oh, if only I could take you to the highest heavenly places. If you could stand before me and talk face to face. But even as a newborn child is unsuited to feed on corn and nuts, your spirit is as a starveling in high heaven. And I take you to the nurseries where I have provided for you according to your weakness. Yeah, because your spirit has to be developed and built up. Don't sometimes a child is born got to go to the NICU, the neo-intensive care unit? Same with a newborn spirit, right? Your mother was provided for you before you were born, and my heavens arranged before your spirit enters there. You did not shape yourself in your mother's womb, and behold the perfection of your every part. Trust in your Creator, but seek also to go with him. You shall attain easily to the highest mountains, places, conditions he created for your glory. Or if only you had not contaminated your corporeal part by the flesh of the beast and the meat of his living creatures. So you contaminate your body like that. Chewing on animal sandwiches, chewing on loin meat. This is one of the things that, like a stone, covers up your soul and blockades your way to the upper grades. Chewing on animal sandwiches, you only gonna get so far. See that? Only gonna get so far. You're still a flesh eater. And this is one of the things that, like a stone, covers up your soul and blockades your way to the upper grades. Your young spirit must remain within the atmosphere of the animal creation for a long season. Like to like, you have fashioned your spirit to the flesh of your body. According to the atmosphere of things, as to the purity and sweetness, behold, your Creator has fashioned them in relative ascent above the earth. That which stinks rests on the earth. That which is pure is upward and high. So that flesh and that blood and that fat stank. Consider the place of the hells of the spirits of the dead and the weapons of warfare in their hands. As the physical, as the corporeal is the corporate, so is the spirit as to the atmosphere of the earth. O man of the earth, consider what you put into your mouth. O man of the earth. O man of the earth. Consider what you put into your mouth. For its atmosphere is the food of your spirit. The vapors of whatever you eating, that's the food for your spirit. And the habit of that will be entailed on your spirit for a long season after your mortal death. So if you're still chewing on animal sandwiches, that's going to be impressed on you, right? All the way up, even after you die. You got to wean yourself up off that. I mean, you want to resurrect higher, no angel or no spirit of the dead is going to be of a higher resurrection chewing on loin meat, chewing on animal sandwiches. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Look at this. If you have been a gross feeder on flesh, your spirit will seek to linger in the atmosphere of gross feeders, still dwelling on the earth. The slaughterhouse, the kitchens, and the restaurants shall be the places of your spirit's resort. And your spirit shall feed on the atmospheric part of dead flesh in these places. And your companions shall be millions and millions of drudges, like vultures that flock to a dead carcass. and you cannot withdraw away. Like the pull and grip of a magnet, these haunts are to the spirits of darkness. Oh man, I have heard you in your fullness say, I must have my flesh food. I gotta have my pork. I gotta have my lamb. Oh man, I have heard you in your fullness say, I must have my flesh food. I must have my wine and beer and tobacco and opium. I say to you, if you do not have strength today, neither shall you have strength tomorrow. What strength shall you gain by the loss of your physical body? Consider your physical body as a ship in which your spirit is sailing across a wide sea of water. It is better that your spirit learns to acquire strength while it has a physical body to ride in. After death, it floats in the direction you have shaped it. After death, your spirit, floats in the direction you have shaped it. Neither do you have power for a long season after you are dead to go against the current. Remember, old man, these are the lessons of your creator, which he gave to you, to learn to master the elements of your surrounding. Ooh-wee. Another benefit of Oahspe, it reveals that you, while you are living, must learn to master the elements of your surroundings. But that's what you're going to be doing when you cross over. Mastering the elements that are on the periodic timetable or the periodic table of elements. Right? You want to master those. I can hear a slanderous jaw Negro today. Oh, that's witchcraft. Mastering the elements of your environment. Stretch forth your hand to your creator and swear to him, you will conquer every passion that is unclean and every habit not conducive to the purity of the growth of your spirit. See? So every day you're working to get better, to refine, to resurrect. Right? Everybody has some type of vice, though. No need to be pointing the finger at nobody. Everyone living, breathing oxygen through them nostrils has a vice. Right? His may be women, yours may be food. Right? Everyone has a vice. Right? So don't even deceive yourself and come out here playing like you the groovy guru. You're not. All right? Look at this. So this is the beginning of your resurrection. Y'all hear this? Stretch forth your hand to your creator and swear to him you will conquer every passion that is unclean and every habit not conducive to the purity of the growth of your spirit. This is the beginning of your resurrection, and you shall be your own judge and master. Ooh, wait. Ooh, wait. Neither shall you call out, God, God, exalt my soul, or, oh Lord, save me and raise me up, until you have first begun to do something for yourself. Every tub got to sit on his own bottom, Jack. Look at this. If only you knew where the virtue of prayer begins, and that he who practices the all highest he knows has the ear and the hand of his God, in which the prayers of the righteous accomplish, while the prayer of the ungodlike is as void as the wind. Yeah, it ain't got to pass your earlobes. Right? You must practice. You wonder why your prayers ain't getting answered? Make sure you practicing the all highest that you know. Look at this. Verse 39. Certain men were down in a deep well, and they laid flat down on their bellies and prayed to be taken up. Yet they would not even raise their eyes to look up. Others at the top of the well let down ropes, and they called down to those beneath to look up and catch the ropes, but they would not. And in course of time, those at the bottom said, alas, our prayers are not answered. Oh man, if only you would put yourself in the way of your God, to put away the uncleanness of the body first and the uncleanness of your spirit afterward, to seek for things that are pure and good instead of criticisms and philosophies that rise up out of your contaminated flesh house, your physical body. Whoever desires resurrection, let him begin to resurrect himself. Whoever desires resurrection, let him begin to resurrect himself. Whoever desires resurrection, let him begin to resurrect himself. Do not make your confessions, which are between you and your creator, before men, you Catholics. Do not make your confessions, which are between you and your creator, before men, but covenant with him within your own soul, saying nothing of this for the laudation of men. Your spirit is as a seed of a beautiful tree, which your creator planted. Give it good light and a clean soil, so that it blossoms and its fruits may glorify your creator and you. Such is the resurrection of the spirit of men. Do not wait for a savior. Do not wait for a savior to save you, nor depend on words or prayers, nor on listening to good sermons, flattering yourself that you have done well, but begin to save yourself by purifying your flesh, by purifying your thoughts, and by the practice of good works done to others with all your wisdom, love, and strength. For through these only is there any resurrection for you, either in this world, or the next. Bag drop, boy. We come back and get into chapter 14. You know what I mean? Truly beautiful. And I want to end it with a little taste. Get on about it. Y'all got some understanding today. Give your boy Malachi Maccabee a 9 up in the chat. Give me a 9 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up. Create a gang. You bring them, we raise them. You bring them, we raise them. All right. Right here. Book of Judgment 20 and 20. Well, I'm starting at 19. Book of Judgment, chapter 20, verse 19 through 21. Do not think that great wisdom comes suddenly. Let me highlight it for you. Do not think that great wisdom comes suddenly by dying in your earthly entrance into the spirit world. You shall be easily deceived. There it is. There it is. Do not think that great wisdom comes suddenly by dying. In your early entrance into the S world, you shall be easily deceived. For which reason you shall school yourself every day of your life that your creator only is your God, and that you shall never see him as you see a man or an angel, but that you can see him every day in the glory of his works. Verse 21. With this faith in your soul, with this faith in your soul, with this faith in your soul, you shall die and enter heaven fearlessly. And when a pretended God or Savior comes to you, asking tribute, asking worship, you shall know in truth that he is false. So school yourself every day that only your creator is your God. If you want to call creator God, then school yourself every day that only your creator is your God, but you'll never see him as you see me, you, your neighbor, or you see a man. You want to see creator, you got to go glorify him in his works. You got to go out into creation. That shouldn't be a sing Nazarene or a Nazarite. They got a problem with this. With this faith in your soul, when you die and cross over, you can go fearlessly because you know what to look for. And even if you don't agree with what we're talking about, at least you're aware of it now. At least you're aware of it now. All right, we ain't read nothing evil at all dealing with what we're talking about. Some of us have read Oahspe from cover to cover. It's a beautiful read, man. All right, and I'm unapologetically claiming that. What Nam Negro like? You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta deal with it. Just keep it pushing. But I'm gonna tell you, you dig? It's some things. It's answers up in her boy that had you like, whoa. Never tripped off that. All right. So as we land this ship, this Kualu, that's my favorite ship in Oahspe. My favorite fire ship is a Kualu. All right. Let me go get my boy for Gobby. My brother called Fragga Patty. How you pronounce the thing? Did I pass him? I might have passed him up already. Going back. Let me go ahead and get this as we about to go ahead and park this deal, man. Here it is right here. About to go ahead and park this Kualu. Oh, we've been coursing the cosmos today, coursing the ether. You dig? Now it's time to go ahead and park. I want to give y'all a glimpse into our inheritance. All right. The Creator's marvelous, man. The Creator's marvelous. All right, let me show y'all this real quick. This is the book of Phagopity, son of the Creator, a high-raised Etherian angel. All right, look what he says about Ethereum. The heavens beyond the plateaus of the atmosphere. All right, look at this. To evolve, now the ship made its way, where 7 Etherian worlds lie bordered in the Ark of Nu, being pastures of Elim, god of Ocean, where another host of 2 billion congregated to see them pass, cheering with singing, trumpets, and stringed instruments. And to this god, Elim being friends for 90,000 years. Phagopity and Elim was partners for 90,000 years. Look at it. Phagopity caused the banners of the float to salute on the sign of Yahweh, Jehovah's name. And Elim answered him with 1,000,000 posts of light amid the waving of innumerable banners. Onward moved the float, the fire ship, with its 10 million joyous souls, now nearing the borders of Heru, the boundary of Phagopity's honored regions, where he was known for hundreds of thousands of years, and for his work on what? Many worlds. Ain't our fault you don't know his planets. Ain't our fault you think it's only the earth out here. And for his work on many worlds, here reaching Savorkum, the roadway of the solar phalanx, the solar system, near the post of Dan, where 500 million Etherians were quartered, 500,000. Where 500 million Etherians were quartered. 500 million is 500 million. I take that back. On a voyage of exploration of more than 4 million years. What is we even talking about her? You mean to tell me the Creator got his sons and daughters, 500 million of them, on a voyage of his creation for 4 million years? Look at this. Rich, stored with the glories of great Jehovah's universe. Their Kualu, that's the ship I like. Their Kualu, their ship was almost like a world. Do you know that some of these chariots are the size of planets? Them suckers got grass, water, all type of, many worlds. A lot of your stars may be ships or many worlds. Their Kualu, their ship was almost like a world. So fast and stored with all appurtenances. They talked of going home. Their pilots have been coursing. The Kualu's pilots have been coursing the firmament since long before the earth was made, and knew more than 1 million roadways in the Etherian worlds, and where best to travel to witness the grandest contrasting scenes. Last verse. By their invitation, Phagopity halted her a while, and the hosts interchanged their love and discourse on their purposes, rejoicing in their glories of Jehovah's everlasting kingdoms. And though they had lived so long and seen so much, pay attention, y'all, everyone had new and wondrous works to tell of. Now, they on a journey for 4 million years. And every one of them had a new and wondrous work to tell of. For so great is the inventive power of the Great Spirit that never twice alike will one find the scenes in the Etherian worlds. Bag drop, boy, but radiant, each different, all moving into everlasting changes, as if each one were to outdo the former in beauty and magnificence. You mean to tell me these 500 million Etherians is on a space trip for 4 million years, coursing the Creator's cosmos, and you mean to tell me that they never saw the same thing twice, and that whatever they was bragging about outdid the glory that they saw a second earlier? Boy, you don't even know what you talking about. Anybody running their mouth against Oahspe clearly is not ready. That's marvelous to me right there. Wow. So as I park this Kualu, this fire ship, this ship larger than a world, you understand? Right on for a ride with your brother MALAKIMAC as we took our space trip. I know sometimes I may come off a little, aggressive. But y'all, that's always after I let everybody run their mouth for a couple years. You dig? And when it finally build up to where it's boiling over, then you know I gotta come call somebody to the flow on that. All right. Other than that, it ain't nothing but love and light over this way. I'm just disappointed in slanderous jaw Negroes that got the nerve to call what we on evil and satanic. You feel me? But really don't want to have a conversation, because if I hold whatever you reading to the same scrutiny, guess what? We're gonna find out the same thing. So at that point, do you throw your books away, or do we open them up and compare the information in them? You did. So love and light, family, ain't nothing but love and light around this way. Again, debate next Sunday, not tomorrow, but next Sunday. Which one is better for our people, the Holy Bible or Oahspe? You dig? He picked the title. These cats been salivating at the mouth since we cooked the atheists with the Oahspe, and ever since then, Israelites been in a frenzy. Israelites been pissed, and the naysayers never asked, well, how is Oahspe winning? This ain't even the standard edition, 1,500 pages. How is Oahspe winning against us if it's the product of a devil? How's the devil beating God? If Oahspe is the product of a devil, if it's evil, if it's satanic, then how is it out here shining more light, bringing more clarity? And even when we put it into action, such as in the debate arena, it kicked everybody's ass. It ain't even came close. So how is this satanic? How is it wicked? Look how thick this deal is, boy. It's thicker than your Bible. So much information, right? Read it and get blown. It'll blow your mind. It'll actually give you a high. It's a beautiful read. All right. Look what I pop right open to. Cosmogony and prophecy. What's that right there? Ancient rules of what? Prophecy. Oahspe teaches you how to prophesy. What prophecy do we have? I'm in the book of what? Cosmogony and prophecy. Yeah. I've been all up and down through the pages. I ain't just read the introduction. Like EB and NehemiYAH called you to the flow, boy. You been running your mouth, you a wolf, or you crying wolf. Called you to the flow, right? And neither you nor your little boyfriend gonna take the fade. So spiritually speaking, you a coward, Jack. You a coward. It's just the truth. You digging? For y'all that's offended, he been running his mouth about me for 2 years, and this is the first time I even said something. He ain't even in my lane. You dig? But you out here running your mouth about something you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a clue about what you're talking about. You or your students. You or your misfits. All right. Another good a good portion to read up in here, y'all. I would read all the books of discipline, divinity, knowledge, judgment, inspiration. I would read all those. But the book of wars against Jehovah or the Creator, y'all need to read that. That deal go. You know what I mean? That deal go. Right here. Chapter 27. YHWH'S declares his doctrine, 7-day creation story, to Osiris, Ten, and Sudga. Osiris, the false of Egypt. Your boy been all up and down these pages. You wonder why the Sumerian 7-day tablet of creation is so familiar or so similar to the 7-day creation story in the Bible. You don't know what the history behind it and what happened. The Israelites just copied the records of the Babylonians coming about it, Babylonians and Egyptians. And that's the book of the wars. Right? This book supposed to be in the Bible. It mentions the book of the wars of the Lord. It's actually in Oahspe. Oahspe don't just tell you that the lion scribes wrote lies into the Torah. It gives you the names of the scribes. I say bag drop, boy. I don't know what nobody talking about. You dig? All right, let me see. Oh, yeah, what better boy body look? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a short brother. Ain't no need for me to be 235 pounds. Too big, bro. Yeah. So now it's all good. Bing, bing, bing. And plus, I ain't chewed on the animal. I ain't chewed on the animal in over 2 years. So it's all good, bro. Hey, I got so much energy. Had to change my entire wardrobe though, because I can't fit nothing from last summer. Nothing. You dig? So yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. Y'all got any questions before I get up out of here? I'm about to get on up out of here and handle business. You know what I mean? I pray everyone got some understanding. If y'all got some overall understanding about your spiritual grade, about your rate, how to calculate your grade, the grade of others, the grade of cities, states, countries, nations, and once you do that, you can properly prophesy as to their rise and to their fall. Like, you learned a lot today. If you go back over, you see, like, dang, man, we straight learned how to be prophets. Straight learn how to prophesy. You know what I mean? And there's more to it. You know, we can get to that, you know, another day. There's more to it, but you know the basics now. You understand? So saying that to say, man, don't let the slanderous jaw, mealy mouth Negroes that got a problem what we talking about discourage and dissuade any of you brothers and sisters. You understand? Your creator ain't nothing but love and love you. You dig? There's no need to be superstitious. There's no need to be scared. There's no need to believe your chestnut's gonna roast forever because you got questions and you reading a book that's giving you answers. There ain't nothing to be afraid of. Who you think your creator is? You don't get off on none of that. You know what I mean? So all praise and glory now to the ever-present creator, the unseen, the all in all, the always was, is, and never shall be. The mighty Yahweh, the mighty Jehovah, the creator. You understand? Love and light, family. Any questions before we get up out of this deal? Any questions? Yeah, healthier diet will shed all this stuff off you real quick. Real quick. And I'm in the heat doing HVAC. I was in the attic. I was in the attic for a couple hours yesterday running flex ductwork for the AC. So running, you know, from this register all the way over above the ceiling joists to that register. You know what I mean? I spent all day doing it. But hey, it ain't nothing but to get it in. So yeah. Heat plus a righteous diet, yeah, get you together. I just make sure I stay working out, make sure I rip up and everything. You never know. I might have to roof somebody one day. Put a naysay on the roof. So I got to make sure my power's still there. So I ain't just eating, I'm working out too. You know what I mean? I make sure I get my stretch on and I work out every day. You know what I mean? I just think my body done balanced out to its natural weight, actually. Had a lot of, like, dead weight on me. Yep, that's right, y'all right, exactly. Exactly. I don't see any questions for real, man. Look, I love y'all indeed in the truth. Shout out to the Creator Gang, man. Look, I roll with a gang of brothers and sisters, countless brothers and sisters. You dig? That's about this light right here. You dig? And really, it ain't even about us starting no fights. We'll finish them, though. We ain't turning down no fades. You dig? But it's really, we'll rather have a conversation with you and reason with you before it get to a debate. Because once the debate pop off, it's gloves off. You dig? And we gotta go. Like we gotta act like we don't even know you. You know what I mean? We gotta brag down you. You shouldn't have got this far. We should be able just to rap and get some understandings. But men don't want to do that. Men want to have a pissing contest and act like, you know, we outside with the book Green Eggs and Ham. This ain't no Dr. Seuss book, man. There ain't no Dr. Seuss book. It's a great read. You'll love it. You dig? But you ain't supposed to worship no book either. You don't worship this. Whatever you run across that sounds questionable, question it. Get into the cosmogony and prophecy for those that have a scientific mind. Get into the synopsis of 16 cycles and the cosmogony and prophecy in her. Get your mind blown. And see how much you don't know. Get your mind blown. You dig? So it's all good, man. Love and light. Love and light. Ain't nothing satanic, demonic, Luciferian. You understand? We just here to shed and bring the light of the ever-present creator from the higher heavens and deliver you out of the captivity of your mind or the hell of your mind. Right? And work together so we can raise up. The more we work together to help others as a community, the more the angels from the higher resurrections assist us and work with us. And then you'll start seeing things manifest right in front of your face. You know what I mean? Proof that the angels are with us. You did. So all praise to the ever-present creator. Y'all, it's just ink on paper. Ain't nothing to be afraid of. The words ain't gonna jump out at you and choke you. Your head ain't gonna start spinning around like it's the poltergeist when you start reading this. Ain't nothing, but that's what these men are had you thinking. Let these mealy mouth Negroes know we is not in kindergarten no more, boy. I don't walk around with my name badge on my chest. I can go check some out if I want to, just to see what's going on. I don't need you to hold my hand through this. See, when you run into something like that, get up out of there, because those men don't want you to excel higher than them. Now, this is your journey, man. That's your own. Learn at your own pace. Just get better, right? You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do to raise your grade and what you need to stay away from to drop your grade. We even learned today about you giving charity, but what if the money you gave, the person who received the money you gave them did more evil than righteousness? You lowered your grade, their grade, and that judgment is on you. See, so you really got to be tapped in to understand what it is you're doing. If you really are doing charity, charity would be you showing somebody how to do a particular set of skill. That way they won't be dependent on you, and they can feed themselves and their families without even depending on you. True charity is you showing someone how to pull themselves up, how to raise their grade, how to develop a skill, how to feed family and all that. That's true charity. Just giving somebody some money, which is good because some people need money right then and there and whatever. But the whole point of what we learned today is you can give somebody something and they can do something, they can do more evil than good. And guess what? Take away from your spiritual grade. All right. So all of this is a benefit. It's all these things are things that need to be learned because objectively speaking, one day we all gonna cross over. Right. And at least you won't be oblivious to what's going on. You did. So all praise and glory now to the ever-present creator, the all in all, that always was, always is, and always ever shall be. The great I am that I am, the great spirit, the master light, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever name you running with, the ever-present unseen creator who you would never see as you see a man. All praises to him. Creators everywhere. All right. Love and life, family. I'm up out of here. Pray for me as I continue to pray for y'all. Love on each other. All right. Until the next time. Again, remember, a false God wants your worship. True God wants your brotherhood. Create a gang. You bring them, you raise them. I'm Malachi Maccabee. I'm out this deal.